Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna couch our bets here, as yet we just know a little bit about EGE. We've seen them quite a bit in this league. Top of the standings no longer. They are officially 4-1. They've been surpassed by Elysium Blaze. They are pretty good in playoff standings, though, Lamb. It's actually HotSpot Gaming here who are the ones who really desperately want to win this game. They're in the playoff contention. They're in a decent spot. But Lamb, they don't want to lose this one. Who would? They're right on the cusp, right on the edge of being knocked out of playoffs here. So a win for them is going to be a lot of calm in the mind and comfort in the upcoming games.
That Zeri Lulu combination going to be taken away. So obviously maybe a target synergy that EDE might have been cooking up, because we know how Taylor Swift likes that AD carry role, albeit that might be shaping up a little bit different tonight. We'll have to see how things go. But Soranad's back in the lineup as well. And of course, Masho is another name that we're pretty much used to. But Hotspot Gaming, as they round out the first phase of the banning here, again, it's a team that we've not really cashed over or had the pleasure of cashing over yet, Crims, but there's always today. Always today.
Yeah.
Come and
I
make
mean,
us work for it, baby.
yeah, they're gonna get their ability to shine in this game right here on stream with Crimson Lamb, no doubt, and
Oh, yeah.
that is a blind pick Ace Soul. So that makes a lot of sense because they banned Irelia and Camille and the Sejuani. These champions pair up with each other and or other combinations in the mid and jungle to take down the Asol. So they're basically just bounding out all the counters for that mid lane. The Nivea ban comes through, and we know emotional damage really like to play the scaling game. And so Asol is going to be picked up. Wukong's a good answer into it. It's not the best, but it's good. And the Jinx, a takeaway from Taylor Swift in a sense. The Zeri has been banned. Jinx is banned. And
Oh,
now
yeah.
they're going to go with something like atypical of their strategy. I know they do play the early game as well, but they're mostly known with Taylor Swift to play that scaling 80 carry, take over the team fights. Now they're going to try to pull it off in the lane phase.
All the eggs in Taylor's basket usually. We'll see if that Jinx is going to make a difference in this one, as we were hovering that Draven. Very tempting. I mean, I'd love a Draven game. The League of Draven, it kind of resembles, well, when this champion is in that bot lane, but it has to pop off, right? It's one of those champions that's, it's all or nothing. All offense, no defense. Let it happen. Let it fly. Yasuo being hovered. Now we might be getting teased a little bit. Flashbacks to that Soraka. Hopefully not the same thing going on here. But the Udyr are going to be locked in for EDE here as well, Crimson. I know you're
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
jump on that in a second. But Aurelion Soul as well. My God, we get a cast
Okay.
over this broken champion again. I still need to look up the abilities. The amount of damage that it puts out is it scales infinitely throughout the game, and something that scales infinitely, Yoni, going to be returned as well.
Okay, Yone is one of those champions that can get on the Asol and win in that mid lane matchup. But as you're alluding to, there is no doubt the Asol damage, once you hit that two items, once you're scaling in the game, is immense. The Draven gets finally locked in against the Jinx. I imagine EDE are going to have to ban Braum unless they're very confident that Hotspot Gaming does not pick the Braum counter. Anything that can eat the Draven axes is going to be very powerful and immense in that bot lane. Or then Jinx is going to be very safe to scale in this game. So far, both teams, I don't think anyone's got a strong foothold on the game here yet, Lamb. I would say the draft's quite even. We have scaling in the mid lane for EDE. We have scaling for the bot lane and HSG here. And so right now, I think these drafts are neck and neck.
Well, neck and neck. You're sure that it's going to end up like that on the Rift as well. Teams in hot form coming into this one. Remember, week 6 and week 7. Week 7 is it, Crims. We're heading to playoffs after that. So if you want to try and round off your season with a victory, now's the time to certainly do it. You can't leave anything to chance, especially if you want that seeding going in your favor. But a lot of that will be revealed to the rest of the league once it gets to that department or I guess whoever's in charge of that is certainly not me. I'm not qualified for that.
I
I'm
wouldn't.
not
I
paid
wouldn't
enough for
want
that.
you. No,
No,
no.
you
There's
wouldn't
no
want
one
me.
in the world would
Okay,
want to put you there.
why not? Why not?
I just don't think it's in your wheelhouse.
I oh, we get those wheels
Oh.
turning. We're like Tina Turner on the river. We're going.
Okay,
It's
Brahma could
going.
be picked up though. Look at they're gonna go with the Thresh. Obviously, this is gonna allow Jinx to have higher bursts of mobility that she's typically not allowed. But the laning phase can take a bit of the hit. I guess they didn't
Wow.
want to blind Braum either, but I think you really want the Braum into the Draven, as this Yasuo pick is going to be a bit confusing.
Thinking about it,
I
maybe
don't think they're gonna
comfort.
do it. I mean, who's gonna
No.
combo with it? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just a
they
bit of a
already locked
trick.
in jungle there. Well, I guess that Amumu being hovered now. That Jack's actually going to be locked in the top lane for EDE. So that will go on to
Ooh.
Pali. Blitzcrank, not even a hesitation about it. It's going to be locked in for Soranad. So the Draven Blitz, big kill lane. Right, let's not get away from that. Emotional damage energy. They're drafting a pretty nasty combination in the bot side, but there is a Thresh on the other team. It's not going to help you too much if you get hooked. I mean, your ability to click that lantern, that's the only thing that's going to be tried and tested down there. But Wukong is a champion as well. It's going to be very busy in the early game. What we're going to see the fifth and final pick to round off this composition is going to be the Garen.
Okay.
And he's starting to see a lot of play now here, Crims.
He just counters some of the popular champions up in topside, but that's literally all Garen does. In the mid game, in the late game, kind of a useless champion. Can't really get on anyone unless they're out of position on their own. If
Oh,
they mess
Garen
up,
love.
basically. Yeah, no Garen love. He kind of sucks. He can split push.
Whoa.
He can. Yeah, there's a lot of Garen hate coming your way. He can split push. He wins lane. That's the one job he has. So if he doesn't win the lane, if Ace can't pull it off, then this is a completely wasted pick in the Garen. It's a counter, but you got to be able to win on it to have any value on this champion. And the Blitzcrank into the Thresh here. You're talking about the Jinx being able to take lanterns out, but what about the Thresh? He can't lantern himself to safety lamb. He's gonna have to take the Blitz hook or flash away.
That's true. Every time that, for some reason, every time that I log back onto League, this is completely irrelevant to actually this game.
Okay,
But the
let's go.
volume is so loud and it just
Oh, you're
blows
right.
my ears out. I mean, I've been listening to Crims on both audio sources today already. You think it's bad enough hearing them on one? I heard them on two, babe.
Oh,
I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
you hear me in each ear twice, so that's 4x Crims, baby.
He's the star of the show. Don't you remember? Star of the show.
Oh
baby.
yeah,
You gotta think
I
about it.
always steal the show. That's just how it happens here. That's
Well,
kind of
give
what I
it
do.
back. Give it back. Don't
You
take
know,
it and then just leave us without it.
stars aren't really known for their charity, so
Oh
gotta
my god.
be
We'll
keeping
go
that
on
one.
like this all night if somebody doesn't stop us. Furman,
That's
you're in
true.
charge. Stop them. Anyway, let's go back to the compositions here because they finished drafting now. We can see what they're trying to do. EDE, that really. And so you could say it's the sole ability power threat on that team, but Jax actually has insane damage when it comes up to that combination. Now that his ult has been reworked in a certain way that it empowers his ult attacks with his W, and it stacks continually as the game goes on. So a lot of damage will come out with Pally, as well as Aurelion Sol. And this champion, I mean, I go back to it time and time again, Crims. The ultimate range on this champion, along with the passive, is just absolutely crazy. It's so broken right now. It's a surprise that we don't see it all that more often.
I think as a blind pick, it's very much open to counters. EDE did ban a lot of the counters, and the Sejuani, in my opinion, huge ban in terms of countering Aurelion Sol here. The mobility underrated. If he gets that flyby, the drive by, a Soul Fire
Astral
Breath.
Flight.
Yeah, the Astral Flight. Well, I mean, it's the combo with the Q there. It really
The
is
Breath of
hard.
Light.
It's hard to get on top of him. He's going to slow you. He's going to outrange you and fly away all at the same time. I think that if we look at HotSpot's comp here, I mean, we're noticing there's a lot of AD damage, not that much magic. Yoni, I know, has magic damage in his kit due to the passive, but it's not going to be enough. So EDE, they could heavily itemize into armor, even putting on a soul, definitely on Udyr, I think. I think there's a frozen heart in this game somewhere. Someone can build it. And the Jax is very effective against auto attacks. So EDE, they still end up with the massive scaling comp here, just based off the champion picks overall. And if this game goes on too long, the itemization from the armor is going to be massive in the mid game and the early part of the late game. I mean, typically, Lamb, once the armor pen items come in, people can have enough damage, but there's still going to be that advantage there.
Yeah, advantage is slim margins at this point of the season. If you can get one, then especially through the draft, you have to try and make that count. Draven being on Taylor Swift is going to be another talking point. I already know it for sure going into this one. This individual was a highlight of EDE for me, Crims. I felt like everything that revolved around Taylor Swift when it came to rely upon that individual just stepped up to the plate each and every single time. I think they fell in a couple games as well, but still showed really impressive numbers, impressive micro. And the fact that you got Draven here, it's got to be a little bit worrying. I mean, we could see the steel caps come through for Draven in this game, honestly.
Yeah, I think you're gonna want to go damage on Draven. He's such a huge source of that DPS, especially the AD version. I know Jax does do it as well. I think you're just looking to really burst out the squishies here, because if we look, yeah, Garen and Wukong kind of tanky, not full tank champions, but this is not a very defensive heavy comp here. So once people get caught out, they're just gonna get blown up by the damage from EDE.
Well, we'll see if they can actually make it happen here. And Aurelion Sol, as well as being so overpowerful right now, overpowered, I should say, rather than overpowerful. Overpowered right now that this champion micro ability to stay out of the team fight is going to be next to near impossible. Wukong, Garen with the execute, Yoni with the knockups, and then of course you can set out with the fate sealed as well. So there's so many combinations that can go through on the side of Crimson here. So hotspot, they're definitely in a good spot, right? This draft is pretty nice to actually deal with the carries that's on the side of EDE here. But again, it's going to be the battle of hooks. It's Hook City, baby, in that bot lane. Man, I'm excited to see it happen in the flesh, but I'm going to get a prediction from you, Crims. Who takes game one of week 6 here?
I gotta go with EDE. I mean, they have a scaling comp. They have Asol. It is counterpicked, so I'm fully acknowledging that there's a possibility the Dogman just completely ints away this game in the face of Wukong Yone. It's a possibility, but I think he's gonna be able to play it safe in the mid lane. Might give up some CS. Might be down in pressure, but the pressure is gonna be made up by Taylor Swift in the bot side monster on this Draven pick. Palib doesn't have to do much, and Udyr just has to run people down, be that frontliner. I don't think it's that hard to play this comp, and they don't have to execute on anything. The Draven doesn't need to get super ahead early, does need the cash in eventually, but is not forced to get it in lane. So I think they're going to be pretty happy with what they got. They're going to be comfortable in the game. Hotspot, they're looking at Asol and they're like losing their minds right now. I think they're going to be hyper focused on Dogman, and that could make or break the game for them.
Well, make or break. I think the EDE, I'm going to side with them this game. I believe that's in agreement with my colleague here. So maybe we're on to one. When we go into playoffs, we're just unstoppable to see who becomes unstoppable in this one. Just before we cut to a break here, remember, guys, there's a clip competition going in. And I
Oh,
know
yeah.
Sam's has got all that money ready and waiting to pay out for who's got the highest viewed clip. So you need to stay with that one. Get your gambling points in, channel points, whatever you want to call them. I can't because I'm not biased. But after this, we're going to cut to a small break. It will be EDE, and it will be, I'm trying to say the letters of the name, HSGC. Alias and ask him if he knows who Bunt is, and then he. Ladies and gentlemen, week 6 out of week 7. That's one less than 7, Crims. That's quick math. Maybe that's not the only math we'll do on the desk tonight. EDE take on HSGC. That's right, I remembered it this time. We're not going to have that little bit of awkward pause. I mean, we can get awkward real quick if we want it, Crims, but it's not going to happen tonight. We're going to see some spicy action. It's almost playoffs. It's an exciting time for all of these players involved. Everybody across the league definitely going to be looking at this one because right now, HotSpot Gaming Crimson, it's all to play for. They're 3-2 for the season so far. If they pick up this one, it moves them to 4-2. They will be tied up with emotional damage energy, and you've got to believe that's something that they want to happen tonight.
Yeah, they definitely want to get this upset here and then secure a really good position for the playoffs. Emotional damage, if they win, they get pretty much guaranteed shot at second and for the first seed as well. So they're going to want to win, pick this up, and maybe Elysium Blaze drops the game. They're going to be happy if that's the case here. So the junglers both starting on the top side. Udyr doing a quick gank start. That's why he's on those wolves right there. Gonna try to quick clear in the top side, get a gank going. Wukong not afforded the same opportunities there. So no egalitarian jungling here. Can't do that. And we'll see if Masho can get an early lead for Pally against Ace on that Garen matchup, which we talked about. Not Jack's friendly early game.
Oh, what a nice top laner Andretti is, given a leash. Not many top laners do that, but Wukong will oblige, takes the red, working his way down onto the blue side now. Probably go for maybe a full clear down there to keep up the pace that he has to offer. Take a look at the Udyr right now onto that blue buff as well. So Masho spending a little bit more time on the top side of the map here. You know, understand a little bit more why Garen, once you catch up with him, even burning the flash, it's devastating, especially into that Jax matchup. But it is a matchup that Garen enthusiasts do enjoy, Crims, and he should see relative success early on in the game here.
Okay, I guess they were able to manage that DC as the hook goes wide here. Zing doesn't get it. Both hook champions missing. Wukong went for the fast path gank bot side. Looks like they're going to go for it right now. Do they land the hook combo?
Soren holding on to that flash, but you got to believe that Blitzcrank.
Oh,
good sidestep. I mean, so composed. The Blitzcrank gets out of that one.
Yeah, he kind of just wiggled right when the hook came out and was able to dodge it. And a little bit of a mix-up as well. Pally here didn't get the gank, but so far has the push. Oh, wait a minute. No Q silence. That's going to give him a great trade up in the top side here. So right now, the Jax has push. Of course, once the levels start rolling in, level 6 Garen is really hard to defeat up there in top side. And so far, Dogman is up in CS. He's supposed to be. It's range versus melee, but still a good sign.
Oracle used on the bot side. Udyr is going to realize that there's an opportunity in the air. I mean, Slatty and Beezing, they must have known there. They're going to get spaced apart by the Draven. 2 flashes consistently. Masho tags him up there with the Blazing Stampede. He'll burn a little bit with the red buff. Re-engage about to happen from Cryptix.
Oh,
T-Swift stuck around. Cleansed instantly on the hook. The traps go down. Masho walks back in. Gets the stun off on the opposing jungler. Exhaust down. First blood onto Thresh as he claims that one.
That is a nice pickup. Unfortunately, onto Bazing, not Slatty and or Cryptix there would have elect that first blood. However, Michaud goes down. I didn't think the team wasn't quite ready to turn there in that 3v3. I think Udyr is massive in these early game skirmishes. Michaud trying to flex that early, ends up getting burned though.
Definitely need to keep tabs on those flashy summoners, also important on that bot side. And now, even with that gank coming through, Draven, no summoners now, cleanse that hook instantly, so no opportunity for a hook into Flay on multiple members. Pretty clutch coming through from Taylor Swift. Even though the jungler does fall, it's not as bad as they could have hoped for there, but that gold lead is gonna be with the side of HSGC here. They're starting off pretty good in this early game, and you got to say again, Wukong gets so much done in the early game, Crims. If you're not tracking his jungler, you might be in a little bit of trouble. Andretti gets the flash away, and it's good.
Yeah, Pally had him in a rough spot. The wave was pulling towards Pally, and he was able to pick up the farm as well. Gets the flash burned up in CS in this matchup. So not looking good for Ace and Andretti. Remember, as I said, Garen's only job is to win the lane. Not happening right now.
Win the lane, win the game. Solon bound out. Blur doesn't get the reactivation. Immortal Steel will go back again. This newly enhanced Aurelion Soul might be problematic as the game goes on. We'll see. Definitely keep your eyes on the passive of that one. We'll be tracking it as the game goes on here. I believe the way it works is the more, I believe it's called Cosmic Career. Yeah, that Dogman has, the more strength in that ultimate he's going to get. And he's level 5 right now, so working towards that level 6. Blur actually hits it first, but after this wave, should be returned by the opposing mid laner.
Yeah, he only has 27 Stardust at the moment. So, quite a long ways away. Hook lands right into the roots.
Gets played forward, but there's going to be a space between Jinx and the support there. Thresh trying to help out Slatty. Axie's happening. Taylor Swift gets that one. Going to cash out. League of Draven. That hook goes wayward. Doesn't get
double
anything.
Kill.
That's going to be a double kill. Flash into the face field is good from Blur. Returns that one. Soranad's getting away, trying to speed himself up. The newly improved Blitzcrank. Oh, crushing blow to the head. Robot or not, that stick is pretty strong.
All right, but importantly, Lamb, T-Swift picks up a double kill as well as getting some of that shutdown gold. So I think so far, all right, cashing in, sorry. So far, I mean, Taylor Swift has a CS lead. And now, if we're just taking a look at a gold lead, that is 1,000 newly minted gold pieces for the Draven above the Jinx, as that cash in is paying off huge.
That's one thing, if you are on the side of EDE that you want to happen, you want to make sure that that Draven is astronomically ahead through these cash outs that Draven offers. Did say this champion is all or nothing, and right now it's all everything for EDE. Brilliant Soul taking the trade.
Wow.
Actually, oh my goodness.
If
Very
Blair had
close
ult,
in that mid lane.
yeah, if Blair had ult, he was dead. Dog, I don't even, did he not have the flight? I guess just decided to stand his ground. Ends up surviving.
Only cowards fly away.
Yeah, that's why Blur ran away at the end there. He was the one scared of this Chad Dogman refusing to leave. As
well,
no one is.
I don't think Blur could have done anything else. I think he was a little bit
Yeah, he just.
back to the fact that Dogman just stood there. It was like, yeah, let's go, let it happen.
Yeah, just. The last time I was chasing someone, they just turned around and started yelling at me. You know, it's just not a good situation to be in.
Don't chase anyone, especially when they don't know you.
Okay.
We'll
keep that in mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good advice. That's good advice. It keeps you out of trouble. What might not keep you out of trouble is Soranad's running you down, gets the stun off on it.
Hey, where the axes
goes out. Destiny will be the death in my show. Tanks the turret shot. Cryptic goes back in. No level 6 on the Wukong, but he'll get out of that one. We Warrior Trickstar flays back in. Taylor Swift now no mana, which means no juggling the axes. Blur coming down. Gonna have that Fate Shield available as well. Flash 2. But opts not to make the play. The Aurelion Soul. Dogman in the vicinity to defend that bot side.
Taylor
Where's
Swift
Dogman going?
Dropped a few axes. Oh, Dogman was looking like he wanted some action for himself. Decides to peace out. Actually finds a different angle here. But yeah, Taylor Swift, kind of a bit of a mechanical misstep here. Wasn't going to be the end for Taylor Swift. However, I think you missed out on some kills. Some of those axes kind of dropped and didn't go the way that he wanted them to.
Well, you don't want to be the anti-hero. Seeing if you were going to get that one, Crims. Okay, we'll let that one slide for now. Then I guess that's.
I don't know
yeah,
what reference
Taylor's
you're
latest.
making.
Okay, it's a song.
Oh,
Song.
was it a Taylor Swift song?
Taylor Swift song.
Yeah, I don't listen to any pop music. You're gonna have to drop all those references around me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Crims. I love it. There we go, baby.
Yeah, that you're gonna have zero luck unless it's like 80s pop music. Sorry, or even
How about Tibetan mantra?
no.
Why?
I don't know what that is. I'm sorry.
It's very soothing. Makes you
Oh,
zen.
what type of music it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, no.
Never listened to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Crims. Okay, back
Okay,
to
all right. I don't know. Well, yeah. Well, why did you do that? You just derailed
it
everything.
It always goes off on a tangent. Shelly's going to go off on a tangent. That smite goes down early. I believe it wasn't even smite. I'm not even paying attention now, but they're going to collapse onto that one. And Aurelion Soul will be able to spam this. I believe can spam the Q as long as Dogman has mana in the vicinity and with that tier.
Oh, nice hook, though.
See action again. The hook champion's back at it. Taylor Swift gonna knock out B-Zing. He doesn't have flash available. That Hex is whirling deck.
Oh, doesn't get
Does
it.
not secure that kill. But Draven and Blitzcrank getting the pressure on in that bot side for EDE.
Taylor Swift does run out of mana at the end there. Whirling Death doesn't pick it up. Sornads didn't ignite. Actually, probably could have led to the kill there. They're not going to be able to secure the dragon position either. They are going to get some plates. I think they got at least one. You're going to have to correct me later here, Lamb. As we have Cryptics hanging around the mid lane. Oh, wow. That is a bit unfortunate. Dogman was actually just right up against the wall, so there was no space for a blur to end behind him. And he just actually goes over to the other side.
Yeah, Dogman's got his pilot's license. He just takes flight anytime. Gets out of dodge, Crims, I believe it's called. And he'll stay safe in that mid lane for now. I mean, this game is breezing by. 11 and a quarter on the clock, approaching 11 and a half, as we traditionally say. Blur making a movement down to that dragon. We can see the team of HotSpot Gaming Crimson. They're making sure they're going to secure this one. They got the vision, they make the play, and they'll collect the first dragon of the game.
Now, something I just want to point out about the EDE here. I mean, just look at this gold lead. It's not really much for the side of HotSpot Gaming here. And that is unfortunate for them. And this is why EDE has that 4-1 score line here, Lamb. They're just so good at not giving away like too much in the early game. Yeah, they do greed and you can't beat them that way. However, in this game, they are basically perfectly managing their greed. They are playing towards bot lane on Taylor Swift, so they're playing the game outright. Pally, he's just chilling. He's just picking up farm. He doesn't really want to interact with this Garen. He got blended up a couple times, but so far is above in CS. And now, oh, here we go, another play.
Taylor Swift
this time they get it.
Strong. They just dropped the support before Wukong can get into the fight. Another kill onto the AD carry of EDE.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. So they're playing towards their strengths and they're just chilling. They're farming everywhere else on the map. I mean, look at the scaling lanes here. Dogman, Pally. Do we see any deaths in them? No, we don't. So, I mean, EDE, they know how to play this style. They're just so good at it.
See if they can actually force this turret. It looks like they're just going to back off there as Yoni was on the roam. Calls go out. Then the mid laner is missing, and then a blur can change the way that goes. Hope you've seen what I did with that one. We're just going off tonight. I mean, he's doing the backstroke, for God's sake. What is that?
That's a swimming technique.
Yes, but really, so can his head just turn 360? That's pretty spooky.
Yeah, and he's got a swivel head. You know, he's got a swivel head up there. The
Who's
swivel
that?
attachment.
Identify yourself. Pretty poor. It's pretty poor. 99 CS. Nice. Okay, Aurelion Soul keeping up with that. Like I said, I think that Q on infinite cooldown reduction, as long as you got the mana there as well, might go on a cooldown, but that Breath of Light mana is Cosmic Creator passive right now. Let's have a look at that. We haven't seen it in action. He's got 77 stats right now. So I have no idea what that means, Crims. You might want to enlighten me here, as we're going to see a gank in that boss side. Good hook actually coming out there. Flash going to be used by Soren. That's timed perfectly. Again, hooks onto the clone, and Cryptics will walk that one out.
All right, so Dogman has achieved the second form of the ultimate, so the circle's gonna be slightly bigger, Lamb, and that is very helpful for winning team fights here. The rod has been completed. Blur going in for this 1v1. He's just doing it all. Yeah. He had the ultimate that time as well, and he's just barely surviving. The HP from the rod coming in as well, so that's going to get harder and harder over time, Lamb. Blur is probably going to, you know, he's going to keep trying, and one of these days, I hope he gets it, because Dogman, I applaud his audacity, but I also shun it. I also shun it at the same time.
Shun it. Shun. I mean, he stands there like he's been shunned. But he's not died yet, like you said, so Dogman obviously knows how to pilot this champion. Whether he takes off or not, we'll see. But that's going to be hook into flame. That's going to set up Cryptix, collapsed on by Slatty as well. Cyclone goes out. He's got one more. That
trade kill
sight goes out. That'll be a trade over. I believe the kill did go over to Jinx first. So those stacks were reset on the Draven. Regardless, he gets a kill back in that ball lane.
Yeah, Sornad's does go down early, and that's pretty much the best Taylor Swift could do. Picks up the trade kill here. As now we finally see a significant lead, 2K for the side of HotSpot Gaming. And it's about 1 minute away from the dragon. 2 dragons for HotSpot Gaming would be a good spot for them to be in. They want to be there. And so this next Dragon Lamb, pretty important implications for the rest of the game. I do want to point out that EDE, they've been shopping at the same shoe store here. I'm seeing a lot of the same brands, you know?
Yeah, they look pretty snazzy. I believe the cool kids call them Crocs.
They're not.
I have a pair, or three.
Seven? Yeah, you're a Crocs guy. I feel like you would be a Crocs. You like to relax, and you don't want to take too much time on your clothing.
That's
so
right.
I feel it. Socks and do you do the socks and Crocs?
Yes.
You're a boomer. You're a boomer. You are a boomer. Socks and Crocs.
I'm gonna shun you in a second. You're gonna be cut off. You're gonna be shunned. You're gonna be with Dogman, standing there and fighting for your life, and not even phased. Cool, calm, and collected. The mid laner of EDE definitely putting on a spectacle. But that dragon is about to be spawned here, and that should say
Pally no
be a
TV.
fight about that. Andretti has walked down here as well. Blur is on the back of the dragon pit. Looks like he'll start the aggro here, but Jax is making the walk down.
Yeah, Pally actually gets there in time, so they weren't able to capitalize on the TP differential. And now this is just gonna be a straight 5v5. Important dragon, both teams know it.
Yes, sentence goes on in my show. Going to be the front line. Who goes back on to the thresh? That's a little bit of reverse psychology there. Face heal going to go back
one.
in. This is huge.
Oh, huge.
Oh, big ultimate comes down from Dogman. That's damage and a half. Beezing peeling it back as best he can. Taylor Swift still going out. The axe is going to roll forward the game. Flash into the hook, into the cleanse. Not enough to keep the AD carry alive, and the Jinx will kill Dogman. Oh my god, Thresh died as well. Pally has found a well. Slatty doesn't want to go for the kill. The zap will just be a little bit too short. But that means that dragon is going into the pocket HSGC as they win that team fight.
HotSpot find the team fight win that they wanted, and it's going to reward them this dragon. So the dragon stacking has begun. They're a little bit behind time, behind schedule, but nonetheless, still good to have. And for the side of EDE, getting that initial hook, Beezing starting it off so well. And you thought for a second that Ace and Blur went a little bit too deep as T-Swift was getting some free damage, but it was just the right amount of CC distraction and chaos for them to just get the burst kill on the front line of EDE. They're not tanky enough just yet, Lamb. They don't have those full tank items, and so they can still fall to the damage of HotSpot Gaming here.
Yeah, and Dogman, surprisingly enough, this Aurelion Soul just chunked everybody, but there was no follow-up by the time that happened. Very hard to actually navigate that team fight. Pally going down. Actually went out of the team fight. I believe the Jax wasn't even involved in it for the majority of the time. It was Udi or Masho on that front line going to be the big focus of HSGC here. But they're in a good spot right now. They got that goal lead as well. They didn't make too much of the first Rift Herald here, so they're looking to maybe secure that second one. They got a minute 15 to get it. Beezing gonna take the wrap around the subway. Zap gonna land onto my show. Descent will not get onto the Udyr, and it looks like EDE, they're going to be the ones that are fended off this Herald.
Wait, are they trying to fight? They're positioning for it. Blur has TP. He'll be here. He has the TP channel, but otherwise it might be a 5v5.
Flash out from Dogman. He's in the corridor, so he's going to be spaced out
Oh,
here.
this is
The light
huge!
goes down. Oh, the sky descend and blow up the whole squad. Triple kill. Just like that onto Dogman. Mega Death Rocket. That's going to be pretty cool to see. Rift Herald being channeled by Jinx. She'll get out of there, but Dogman goes crazy in that team fight.
That was a 3-man knockup. We need to see the health bars chunk and fall as that meteor came from the sky right down on their heads there. This A-Soul is getting quite close to that 2-item spike, and already Dogman finding effectiveness in these team fights. 7 stacks on the rod. Almost going to be completing that. Get the free level up as well. Slatty, though, is the one holding it down for his team. 3-1-6. Has that bounty for a reason. Doing tons of damage in these fights with that Kraken Slayer. And very, very funny, picks up the Rift Herald icon and was able to use that to escape. Otherwise, I think Slatty would have fallen as well.
Big brain plays coming out from Slatty, keeping this game afloat. That gold lead is a very slim one, 500 gold in favor of HSGC after that team fight. Very close team fight. Thresh getting hooked in there, started by Sornads as well. It seems like these supports are just trading hook for hook every single time, and no matter who hits the first one, it's going to spell good things for the team here. Beezing, oh, that's probably not where you want to be. That's a stop at the wrong stop. He's going to get picked off here, just absolutely hinting into oblivion. Taylor Swift going to collect their 5th kill of the game.
Yeah, they just handed that right over to Taylor Swift. Is on a 2.5 item spike as well. I think Taylor Swift might have the 3rd item as well. Pretty close, maybe about 500, 700 gold off from a 3rd item. So that's gonna be massive for the Draven. Just way ahead of Slatty. It's about 2k difference now. Remember that 1k difference has now grown. And this gold score has evened up. 2nd item for Dogman. And it looks like all that good karma HotSpot Gaming was building up in this game. Lamb, it just got flushed down the drain. It just swirled into nothingness.
Well, hopefully it doesn't clog that drain. Otherwise, you have to call a professional. And the price is the price. I'm afraid that's what we say in the business. But that's none of my business to tell anybody's business. You see, it's tied up all over the rift here, Crims. Apart from those dragons, that's still a favorable position for HSGC. It does mean that EDE have to try and contest that next objective. You give this whole point, puts more pressure on your team to actually react to that play happening. And right now you can see the vision is definitely with EDE. So they're actually setting up to try and contest this next objective, which will be here in just sub 40 seconds.
They do have that vision, and it looks like they don't have the pressure just yet. They're hitting their resets. Need to make sure they have enough wards, get the pinks into the inventory. Oh, my show didn't buy a pink ward. Had enough gold for it, so shame, shame, shame. More shame around. But they have the 20-second timer for this dragon here. And they are looking to secure control. They have some initial vision. I would like to see more control. Taylor Swift solo in the mid lane. Hopefully doesn't get caught out by the Zing. And right now they're giving up Baron pressure. They're going to drop the Rift Herald. Okay, they're trying to use this to pull them away. They get into River first, so that's going to be a huge advantage for them as emotional damage are forced to walk in late. Oh no, I don't think they're going to make it. A 3rd dragon in a row, Lamb. This is going to be huge.
Pulled this dragon out. Hook goes over, so that's going to deliver the fresh again. Beezing gets a flash across the wall.
Looking for the fight.
Blazing Stampede going to go down as well. Going to be fended up by Andre. Gets the spin onto Dogman. Try and keep the relics low at the fight here. Death is going to go in the front lane against Tornad's going to come back in already. This guy's descent again. Dogman goes infinite, but Slatty's still alive. Flash for flash. Pally will fend him off. Blur over the wall. Over the wall goes Taylor Swift. Over the wall goes double kill for the Draven. Slatty, 1 lead strike should do it. Shut down onto the top laner, Pally. And that'll be the ace for EDE.
Pally just walks down Slatty. They win that team fight. HotSpot Gaming, they stuck around way too long. They really needed it to skedaddle as Michelle finds the engage, and now they're doing Baron. They pick up the 3rd dragon though, Lamb. So HotSpot Gaming, it's not all, but they don't have all green lights here. But if EDE aren't able to commit on this Baron, pick up a huge map control difference, the 4th dragon could go to HotSpot, and then they have the game right back in their hands then.
At what cost was that dragon take? 4,000 is that gold lead now with the Baron over 5 minutes away. Of course, that was just taken by EDE. That power play going to be online. 3 dragons or not, it's still not the Hextech Soul that they desire. So 24.5 minutes into the game, you got to say that the advantage is definitely with emotional damage energy. This Aurelian Soul is just stacking up infinitely. You don't think it does damage, but my god, it just takes over. Whoa, the bait's coming out, being traded, getting caught out by that one. That's not a nice thing you do. Don't do that in solo queue. These are all friends here, so there's nothing heinous about it. I mean, I don't know, it might be.
Yeah,
Be better at the game, I guess, but they're in a good position here, Crims, to actually win this game. Can they make it count as the bait goes back out? Oh my god, it's just going.
You don't know if they're
like
frenemies.
A doorbell. For God's sake, someone answer it.
Yeah. You don't know if they're frenemies here on the side of emotional damage. Maybe they all secretly hate each other. Hard to tell.
It's so annoying. Oh.
Yeah, can we mute that on the... Can we get a mute here from the production? As someone needs to get spam blocked right now. All right, they're using the Baron. They have a 1-3-1 setup. They're just walking down the buffs, and it looks like they're not going to have much resistance. They're going to be matched in the mid lane. Top side though, Pally. This is that 2-item Jax.
Andre has to run away with the sword between the legs, not the tail. Garen going to be pushed out of that one. Starting to see Pally take over in that top lane. Playing very well in this game. Still deathless on that Jax. That Warden's Mail going to be in the inventory as well. And they're yet to take any more objectives right now, but that siege is getting closer and closer to the base. They got Aurelion Soul on the bot side. They got Jax in the top, and they're playing that 1-3-1 style to great effect here, Chris.
Yeah, that gravity field from Dogman. It's so hard to play around. They're gonna 3-man push up. They've been given this turret here as it's just the 2-man. They're getting flanked though. They're gonna need to find an exit soon.
Cryptix, he's very under leveled in comparison to everybody else right now. Masho is a level ahead of the Wukong. Being forced out of the jungle, that'll do it to you. Beezing throws out the hook as well. He's going to eat one, and instead Starfield goes down. Going to realm up, the box comes out, but that's going to be soul unbound back from Blur. He takes a big shot from those spinning axes at Taylor Swift. They're now sieging on that inhibitor. EDE, they got what they came for. They're looking for a little bit more. Andre going to be the next focus in the squad right now. Masho going to tank the turret, and the kill will go over to Dogman. 7th kill of the game, and the siege is relentless.
With those 2 deaths, they're just going to storm through all the gates here. And remember what I said, emotional damage, they want to win off the back of that Baron. And HSGC, they want to defend the base for a shot at that Dragon Soul. Well, that plan's been ripped to shreds. Blur trying his best, though.
Goes back in, second cast,
another huge ult.
But this might be a little bit of an overstay. Play back. Oh, hold on! Taylor Swift being caught! Shutdown! Over to the Yoni. Getting a Hextech gates out. Cryptix still hunting. Pally low. Jumps to Dogman. Needs to go over the wall. He will. Warrior Trickster. Cyclone gets it Jax. Shutdown. Smite slows down Dogman. Into the river. He goes into the pocket.
Wait, that's Soul.
Wukong bounces back in this game. And the Soul is right here.
They have it. It's just gifted to them on a platter. They stay too long in emotional damage. They didn't have to go for that play. They could have just picked up the Soul Stopper right here. But they couldn't let that stay. And now they're punished. They lose this dragon here. And the one opening that I was talking about has been reopened. I thought that story was shut and closed, Lamb. But this game... I mean, look, it's emotional damage. It wouldn't be an exciting game if it wasn't them in there.
Maybe the name describes the feelings if it doesn't come to fruition, but that defense was impressive. And the chase down from Cryptix. Wukong being very behind in this game, but look at that, he's accelerated now, level 15, now a level ahead of Masho. After that skirmish, he was a level and a half down, Crim, and now he's taking a little bit more priority in this game. He's on 7 kills and just completed that 3rd item.
Yeah, got a lot of huge shutdowns as well. Lots of gold just been dumped into the pocket. Cryptix. And the 3 items have been hit by Slatty. picking up the Runon's Hurricane. There's a lot of melees in this game, so that's going to provide a lot of teamfight AoE damage here. But they're not out of the woods just yet. They have 2 inhibs down, Lamb. That's a tough task to pull through here. They're going to attempt a fight right under this turret.
Counter-strike going to go out. Pally takes damage.
Cryptex.
50% health here. The silence goes out from Blitzcrank, but it doesn't matter. Going to be flanked by Cryptex. Big Cyclone again. Dogman is here to try and help the team. They're being wiped here. This is scintillating. This is a spectacle. And that Slurry getting the double kill finishes off the Udyr. Dogman now has to retreat. The pound is coming on Dreddy. Looking to put him down here. As scintillating as that was, and he gets it. That's going to be an ace to HSGC with the Baron 15 seconds away.
Double ace back to back. And now they're back in this game. The Baron's going to come up. The inhibs, they're down, but not for that much longer. They're not out. And look at this Baron. They're just anxiously waiting for the spawn timer. It's going to spawn. And now they're going to be able to slay this Baron, get the buffs all out the game. Slatty, so far, has been able to fight untouched in the backside. And Lamb, emotional damage. They're not peeling for TES Swift. Multiple times, Cryptix and Blur are getting on top of this Draven. Dogman needs to do more defensive ults, I think, to peel for this Draven. There's no peeling tool on the team, and I think that's their best shot to win these team fights. Otherwise, I think HotSpot Gaming, I mean, they're looking like they're going to pull out the victory.
HotSpot Gaming, Crimson Believers, make yourself known. This game was all EDE until this point in time. They have the soul. They have the Baron, and now they have the push. They don't have a bit of a base right now, but that's not to worry about. They're pushing down that mid. It's for Garen being sent up solo to that top lane, and really what we've seen is just a complete switcheroo. Slatty, 7 kills in this game, 3 items strong. Stop watching the inventory. It looks like they're gearing up for a finale here, Crim.
All right, they're not going to go down without a fight. They're going to charge right through this mid lane. Yeah, they're just going to try to completely decimate them before they have position on the map. This is despite the fact they have a Baron. They're just going to run right in there. All right, they're going to peel back. They don't know where Andretti is. And now, I mean, with this map state, there's nothing really to fight for. Just going to stall out the Baron. Cryptix. Cryptix?
Oh, the hook hits. The silence will mean that Cryptix does not get out of that one. Great pick coming through from Soronad, picking off the jungler.
That was an unwise ward to clear. You knew they had control of that jungle. And despite the fact your team was not around you, Lamb, that could have been the throw of the century.
Well, look what Garen's doing right now. He's actually killing the wave. This is 3000 IQ from Ace on Dreddy. Unless they want to take both of these turrets here, they might just do that. Masho accepting the invitation. Who goes out is going to get the cleanse out with the Draven. Will have to back it off. Andretti behind them here. Not looking to make a play. They'll exit is 5 and they'll stall the game out for now. Again, they do have Baron as well, so those Baron minions are going to be harder. I say harder, but look at Ace-Hole just deleting the wave even though he's AP. Unbelievable, this champion. But again, delay of the game.
Emotional damage, they still have the map pressure. It would be an absolute travesty if HotSpot do not pick up this Elder. I mean, they did so much work getting all those dragons stacked up, and to lose the Elder, that would be a crime. They are setting up a bit of a kill brush here. I don't think ED are any wiser. Taylor Swift just walks up the mid lane. They might have an angle.
Oh, the pings are going down like they're positioning aggressively, but that exit stage right from Taylor Swift and Michelle will make sure that they don't get caught out there. And now HSGC, they need to catch up to those super minions that are marching it down that mid lane right now. Looks like they will. See that Elder 40 seconds away, and you have to say, Crims, this is going to be the turning point in this game. Whoever gets this dragon, that's it.
This Elder is a game ender. That's how it's designed. That's how it's intended to be. In 30 seconds, we're either going to have a fight that ends the game or a buff that ends the game. Either way, I don't think it lasts that much longer. So far, Sornats has been landing some very necessary hooks for EDE. And now they've given up mid-prio for the Elder.
Tornads, he actually hooks the Thresh back
Oh,
in.
that's a
That
huge
might
ult!
be not the greatest thing there. That's big damage coming from Dogman, but look at the Cryptic! Cyclone onto the backline, he gets onto Dogman, deletes him, pulls him back, Zeng gets the play, set up nicely. Stasis going to be activated from Cryptic. Back on it, TES, he's going to go down. Elder available, and Pally is the only sole survivor.
Despite Dogman's best efforts, they just don't have enough damage in the tank somehow. And then Taylor Swift, time and time again, there's just no peel, not allowed to free fire. And guess who is going to be doing all that damage? Blur, Cryptics, they're just laying it right into Taylor Swift. And after that, I mean, Dogman, he does do damage, but it's not going to match the Draven in these team fights. That once that burst comes down, that is basically most of the damage from that Aurelion Soul. And now they have the Elder in their hands. Man, they can just march it down mid lane, win a couple more team fights, and the team fights get easier and easier with this Elder, and then they should be able to pick up the win here.
Well, I want to direct your attention here, Crims. Look at the inventory. Wukong, Yoni, Jinx, all the same fourth item. Guardian, Angel. Complete for all three of the carries in this game. They don't care if Zeng goes in 1v9 and dies here. They don't care that Andretti will try and get the execute on. They want to make sure that that Wukong can get in and out if the Jinx is to be caught. But by who? The Ghost is available for Masho. No flash onto Pally, which means that Jinx is going to be free firing. Speaking of free firing, they're going to march it down 4 in that mid lane strong. Now they're looking to try and siege for themselves. Zeng gets a Whirling Death out. Descent is well obliged by that. Doesn't get anything. Looking to stall out a little bit here. Aurelion Soul will get that one away. Who goes out on
Wait,
Masho?
Zeng
Going low.
okay.
Okay. Thresh. Hello?
Yep, Zeng just get a little bit caught out there. Just feeling a little too comfortable, got a little too cocky. Ends up getting punished. But, I mean, it does burn the Assault ult, so if they fight now, it's totally worth it.
Laura, Face Seal doesn't catch Dogman there. Going to get stand aside by Draven. Andre going to be the front line now. 5v4. Remember that the Thresh went down 30 seconds on him. So we see him again. Baron going to be spawned. It's going to be pinged out instantly. Andretti just beelines it for the big purple shrimp, Crims. I know it's your favorite.
All right, ever since I made that food reference, you've never stopped. However, they're hungry for that shrimp though. And wait, this is a momentary 5v4. Can they pull it off?
5v3. Andre, teleport's going to come in by Vlar. Oh, I do believe he's got the face shield available, but this
Vlar's alive.
is free fire and the Jinx untouched. Oh, will actually get stunned up now. Pally goes back onto that Cryptex, goes Invincible Warrior, Trickstar, Mob Box, stays alive. Sornad's getting peeled to death like a damn banana. Getting knocked up, the Jinx still firing. Slatty taking over the damn game. Double kill onto Blur.
Cryptix gets onto Taylor Swift time after time again, assassinates him. This Draven needs a peel, buddy, but there's no one there to do the job. Sornads is dead. They have a 4-man advantage over Masho here. And it's looking like they're just going to walk this wave in and close out the game. Masho has wave clear, though.
Masho gets the Wingborn Storm down onto the wave. If you can delete it now, next
Wait,
turn,
Blur?
number one about to go down, gets knocked up by Blur. Remember the GAs in the inventory, which means
They got
they're
it.
fearless in the dive. Ace goes over. HSGC will take game one.
A valiant attempt at the end there from Masho. Tried to clear the wave, doing the best he can on the Ood here, but at the end of the day, Lamb, emotional damage don't pick up the first win, and that upset has now just been a lot easier to secure from HotSpot Gaming. Emotional damage, I mean, the Anivia is such a powerhouse of their comp. Asol can do similar things, but takes more time. I mean, we saw Dogman. We saw the amount of damage and CC he can output on this Asol in the mid lane, but it wasn't enough. There just wasn't enough support for Taylor Swift. The dive from Cryptix and Blur, just over and over and over again. Too much to handle for the Draven.
Sorry, it was actually waving to the fans there, Crims. I'm so sorry. I didn't listen to that word you said. I'm only kidding. I was listening.
You don't have to.
Obviously,
Just keep talking.
No, just kidding.
You don't have to listen to me. All right, just
Well,
just close it out. Just close out.
I'm the star now. I'm the star of the show. Get him out here. No, your point is absolutely fantastic. The Draven took over the early game. The mid game was fantastic as well. We're going to see the numbers come on the board here, and you'll see how actually rich those carries were. The Jinx was phenomenal. Slatty stepping up to the plate, making sure that the team's got a win condition, regardless. And again, Blur's ultimates, the Fate Sealed multiple people every single time. Andretti didn't really speak a lot about it, but that execution, it came into play again multiple times in those big objective deciding fights.
I don't really think the Garen did much. I'm gonna
Come
go with
on.
the.
I know you don't
That's
like the
a
champion.
that's an Andretti Regretti pick right there. The Garen.
How long were you waiting to say that?
That one I was waiting for a long time. Look, picks up the win. I don't think the Garen did his job. He was supposed to hold down the Jax, but Pally ended up being quite pivotal for emotional damage. Was able to do a lot with the Jax pick at the end of the day. Wasn't punished enough, so that's a regretty pick for my books, Lamb. I think they need a better counter for Jax.
Well, the amount of times that I could count the Jacks doing really good things. I thought Pally, itemization was great. Got to that Blade of the Ruined King, started making it happen. The push in that top lane, forcing Garen all the way back towards that 15-minute mark, 20-minute mark. And you really thought for EDE, it was already figured out, right? Aurelian Soul, I want to see the damage charts, by the way, or what Dogman was putting out in that game. It's got to be more than anybody else because he started changing team fights really early on in that game. I mean, about 17, 18 minutes into the game, skies descend, and then all the health bars, they just start disappearing.
They unfortunately didn't really have enough damage to stick after Dogman's ultimates because they were very effective. Let's just not mess around here. Dogman looks scary on this ASOL, and that was also a blind pick ASOL Lamb. They completely blinded it, left open the Yone counter. Blur didn't stomp the lane. Did find effectiveness in team fights though.
Yeah, and again, Yoni kind of in the same category as the Aurelian Soul, right? Wants to scale up, doesn't really care about the early game too much. If you get accelerated, then great. But realistically, for a Yoni player, your job is to get to that Infinity Edge and then hit multiple Fate Seals. Try and get as many knockups and displacements that you can in the team fight to make things happen. And if you can get the solo kill, I mean, Crimps, for God's sake, Dogman was standing there the whole time letting Blur just hit every single combination you could. I mean, he might have been playing Sudoku with them because he was that close.
I mean, there's just no fear in Dogman's laning phase, I guess, in that matchup. I think they could have done more against Dogman. I don't think there was that many ganks. They have thresh hooks as a potential to kill the ASOL. So, yeah, the early game plans, they didn't get enough done. But then for some reason in the late game, they just figured out exactly what they need to do. Take Taylor Swift out of the equation. I mean, if you think about it, if you're fighting emotional damage, that is a very good strategy.
Yes, absolutely. And you could see that once those fights started, unfortunately for Taylor Swift in this case, I know she's a standalone singer and all that kind of thing. Going solo in Summoner's Rift does not pay off for anybody. This is a team. I mean, you need to get the boys together, the band together, start making some music, Blues Brothers style. If you're a big fan of that, I know I am. Anyway, look, we've spoken about this a little bit enough. You can take a look at those charts right there. Taylor Swift topping those charts easily. A lot of trading on with the Draven, a lot of executes coming through, getting paid out big time in the early game, but just couldn't transition it into the win. Very unfortunate. And again, it was a case of two hook champions. And the one that stood out the most for me was actually on the losing side, Crims. Soranados had so many great hooks in that game.
Yeah, was able to hook Bazing multiple times. I mean, let's be honest. How many Bazing just died at the beginning of every team fight because Sornat just free hooked him and they bursted him out. So
that was his strategy.
Yeah, he's just wasting their stuff. I mean, he kind of wasted ASO ult as well. So in a sense, yeah, he was just wasting. He was just making them waste abilities on him, and it did kind of work out actually.
Well, speaking of wasting, me and Crims are wasting your time here because we're getting geared up for game two. You don't want to go anywhere for this one, but once again, I remind everybody now that everybody's starting to show up here, it's about that time. Look at the time, guys. We're on time every stream. Where are you guys at? There's a clip competition. Make sure you get your clips in. The highest viewed one wins a prize at the end of the season. I know I'm going to try my very best. My Crim's haircut one is actually doing really well because I watch it every single day.
Ah,
So,
that
even if
that's
look,
kind
if you
of that's
that's
cheating,
boosting.
bro.
That's a boosting strategy that's perfectly legal. And of course, remember, guys, every time that the game is about to start,
Oh
get
my.
your channel points in because Lamb needs to cash in on the underdog every single time. You know the odds are always in my favor. Not with the predictions though, because that's Crims's strategy more than mine. But we're gonna cut to a small break. Shut the hell up, Lamb, and cut us to a break. I heard you phone. Okay, break time. See you after this. Wednesday night, we're back. That wasn't a long break. We can't wait to get back and entertain the masses. Speaking of entertainment, HSGC find themselves on the red side this game, Crims. Priority picks as we're going through the banning phase. It was the Zeri Lulu ban. Will it be reiterated again? Very strong combination. Lulu in general. Yeah, there it is. Color cast or just copying the first game. I don't know. You can kind of balance that one out. But EDE, they're going to be on that blue side. What do they prioritize here? That's the biggest question.
It looks like they're just going for the ASOL pick again. We'll see what HotSpot Gaming Crimson do, because they have the last ban, so they could just ban it out. They don't want to deal with the heartache of an ASOL. They can say, no more ASOL for you guys. They did use a Nivea before, so I think one of them is getting through now. So ASOL or Nivea, what's it going to be? And I think right now, emotional damage, you're considering the Yone ban. I think that's why this is taking so long. As they end up deciding,
Close.
Camille is staying off this game. And now, HSCC, Anivia or ASOL. I mean, look, Dogman's good on both. So pick your poison at this point.
Well, I do believe that Dogman didn't do a whole lot wrong on Aurelion Sol, right? He played it. They banned away the Jinx here. So not only does it not go on to Slatty, but more importantly, that takeaway from the first game, it doesn't go on to Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift, which we know that was a staple of the champion pool. Aphelios comes out here, Crims. Wow.
Now, I do wonder if they're going to just steal away the Thresh, because Bazing played Thresh last game. Might as well take it this game. Aphelios is very good with Thresh, so take it out of the game. Makes a lot of sense. Don't let them have that combo, so they can respond with the Thresh here. They could just counter and pick up jungle. There's a lot of options. Aphelios is one of those new picks around the block. Did get that attack speed buff. I think works as like a semi-hyper scaler, not super scaling like the Zeri or the Jinx, but has that scale factor. So scales into a lot of things, not the hyper scalers, and offers a lot of teamfight damage and or utility. Depends which guns combos you go, but can be able to provide either one of those in the game, which is useful if you set it up correctly. So they're going to go with the Rel. They don't want to do the Thresh. I think Thresh works into Rel very well, though. And the Vi coming out as the way to shut down the Aphelios. Although, if you're asking me, if Sornad's is the Thresh player, or is confident to pick it here, Thresh into Rel, I mean, every CC stops the Rel engage, so I'm not going to complain if I get Thresh in this game.
I'll take Alistar here. I think Alistar would be great. Albeit that you would have to be on top of Aphelios the whole game, depending on how that one would play out. EDE Nautilus is a very good takeaway as well. So the fact that they logged this in now, the Vi is usually the pick if the Wukong is not available. Definitely has that early game presence. Vi is so good with that flash vault breaker if you can make it happen. Now Nautilus is a champion that can stop that until that cease and desist is going to be online. So a lot of focus on where Vi is going to start this game, whether it is going to be a leashless top start or actually work the way up to the top side. That Jax is going to be ran back here as well. Now, Pally didn't do a whole lot wrong on this champion. It just didn't seem to be in the right place at the right time for EDE.
There's a lot of early game skirmishes that made carrying on the Jax harder down the road, but I agree with you. Not a lot of complaints from Pally up on the top side. Ended up even in CS. And also, there's some points where he was up like 20 CS in the Garen matchup. I don't think Andretti goes Garen again. Please tell me you have a better... No! No! Okay, all right. Round 2, baby. Round 2.
Run it back. It's a salty run back. That's what we like to see. I mean, if it doesn't work the first time, I tell you over and over again, Crims, doesn't work the first time, keep on doing it. It's definition of insanity. Maybe it will never work, or maybe it will. Maybe it's that mental game. Yeah, I lost the game is Jax here, but we're going to run it back anyway. But again, favorable matchup for the Garen nice and early. But once Jax gets a couple of items, he's running that Garen all the way back to his turret.
Yeah, especially once that Bork's complete. And then the Sunder on top of that. 2 items. Makes it difficult. ASOL not going to be here. You know, I just would have preferred a Gragas. Lamb, I'm just gonna say Gragas kind of busted right now. Can be flexed
Gragas.
Top or mid. Why not Gragas right there? Come on, HotSpot Gaming. the meta. Okay, anyway. As we,
It keeps changing. Keeps changing. Second phase bans.
yes.
Oh, Aurelion Sol actually taken away.
Yeah.
Tristana's a really good takeaway as well. The siege that comes out with that champion.
Oh, Sammy?
Yeah, Samira
Alright.
going to be taken away as well. So a lot of focus on the AD carry there, and also taking away that busted Aurelion Sol. They basically realized that if Dogman has this champion, it's going to be problematic, right? You can't give this champion over for free. It does warrant the respect of picks or bans, or if you have something already pre-planned to play into it. And right now, there's very little that can actually do it. I was standing in the face of Yoni saying, yeah, go ahead and kill me. And Yoni didn't actually get the kill twice, but it didn't really matter. Yoni actually popped off in that game. But Xayah, very safe champion, pairs up really nicely with the Rel.
Yeah, the Xayah and Rel combo is going to be hard to be Dove. So that is something that they have to be aware of from the side of EDE. So far, they're not really picking anyone who's going to super hard commit. Nautilus can with his Anchor toss, of course, but he can just chill with his ult as well. So depending how they play it on emotional damage, can play it very well. Xayah has a lot of damage on the Blade Recaller. Have to watch out for that. And Rel has huge team fight engage. Veigar's going to be a bit rough for them. Veigar's going to be a bit rough for them because they can't cross. They can't cross, I think, Event Horizon, the cage.
Oh.
They can't cross the cage without being stunned. So they can be locked in place. And that's going to give them a lot of room on the side of EDE to lay on the AoE. And Maokai going to help lock them down. And finally, I think a really decent peeling element for Taylor Swift on EDE's team comp.
I actually love the Maokai Veigar pickup here in the second phase. I mean, Veigar does so much for this team. It basically means that once Vi goes in, she can't get out. And, you know, depending on the placement of where that cage is going to be, Victor is another great pick. I mean, these drafts have been absolutely phenomenal from both of these organizations. And I gotta say, I am leaning a little bit more towards EDE here, just based off of the last two picks, plus the Nautilus. I think they have a lot of answers that go into the Vi. I think they have a lot of answers that go into the Xayah. For the Nautilus, you just need to wait until she comes out with that Featherstorm, and then hit her with a depth charge. And wherever she goes, that goes. The displacement that comes with as well, you could probably tag up the Victor. Xayah doesn't really want to be in close quarters, albeit that you can get that Blade Collar back, and you can root up as many people as you can get, depending on the placement of the feathers here. But on the side of HSGC, they brought that game back from the dead. So realistically, if we're thinking about it here, Crims, these guys are picking pretty much for comfort, because they already know that mental is pretty much damaged on the side of EDE. They came back from, I mean, we'll have to check the goal charts to see the swing in that game. But that was an absolutely phenomenal. 2 inhibitors down, they make the defense, and then they make the play to get the Baron, the Elder, and they still got the soul in that game. So they were untouched pretty much for every objective in that game, including 2 Rift Heralds, I believe. Yeah, 2 Rift Heralds. Slatty got the last one.
Yeah, they definitely had a real good swing at the early game in terms of objectives. Everything else, though, was quite even. And then the mid game is really when they had that roller coaster and they were able to come back in the late game. I mean, the tank items did come through, but then there was no protection for Taylor Swift on the backside of that. So now in this comp, though, I mean, we have better protection for Taylor Swift on a better scaler, not the Draven. Has the potential to do a lot of team fight damage. I think the Nautilus and the Rel, they have a really good shot of winning that lane phase. They're going to have trouble getting onto Xayah, like bursting her right away. But they can really just let their CC hang out with the Veigar and the Maokai ult. So they're not really forced to hard engage into the Xayah. So I'm with you on this one. And of course, you know, and the cherry on top is the Garen. I have to go EDE. Like, why
really
would
don't
I?
like this champion.
No, I don't like this champion in this situation. I mean, just based off game number 1. Look, I would have been okay with it if Andretti stomped the lane. Lamb, did Andretti stomp the lane?
No comment.
Okay, he doesn't want to be involved. All right, well, you know what?
I'm not the bad guy.
Lamb on the desk doesn't have any comments, but in the green room, there's a lot of comments coming out from this guy.
Wait a doggone minute. Hold up.
He's quiet. He's real quiet. He's real quiet on the desk when it comes to talking about these players. But once you get him in the room, one-on-one conversation, it's a different story. The tune changes.
I can tell you, I have no idea what Crims is talking about. I am so fair. All my comments, I stand behind 110%. That's a lamb guarantee right there, and that's hard to come by, let me tell you. But Crims, we both agree that EDE, they have the favorable composition in this one. We're probably siding with that. But I have to say that it's hard for me to actually pick a team here. I really like their draft, but their carries are hard scaling. Aphelios, Jax, Veigar. You look on the side of HSGC, yes, they have the Zaya, but the Garion, once he's level 6, he's a champion. He's basically a kill threat at that point. The Vi is going to be very threatening as well, and of course, Victor is going to scale up. So it's kind of even in terms of the scaling damage that will come out of this team as well. And I mean, these fights are going to be explosive. The target selection is going to be massive. The displacement from the Rel, though, that's where I got my eyes. What this support can actually bring to the table. Because the last game, it was all about the supports and they're kind of engaged. So now they got a hook champion in Nautilus that gets them in and doesn't really get back out, in the same way Rel that can disengage, come off the horse and start running around with that big lancer, trying to put it who knows where the sun don't shine. So again, we don't know how that's going to transpire, but one thing I can tell you for sure, Crims, is we're going to find out right after this break. back for game 2. Titan Esports, they bring you all the entertainment on a Monday and a Wednesday. Remember, don't miss that Monday stream, Crims, because that one is absolutely terrific. I love it. Does Zeminan, I don't know how to say his name, it starts with an X, but he's
Just say
such a
Zem.
great fella.
Just
Zem,
say
yeah,
Zem.
that's it. See, this is why he's my color. He's also my character. But in this case, you're going to get lamb and crim, so that's what you have to settle for. All right, there's no looking tonight, actually, either. Our thoughts go out with looking in this little bit of tough time for our boy here. So if you've got a spare minute, send him a little bit of an encouraging message. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. And of course, Fort is going to be in here producing for us tonight. I'll give him a shout out at the end in case you forget about that one too. But we're here to talk about these two teams, EDE, HSGC. Of course, in game 1, HSGC, they turned the tide around. They made that pendulum swing back and forth, Crims, and ultimately, they grasped it right at the end.
Yeah, that roller coaster of a ride that was game 1. It had its high points right there at that 30-minute mark, and they were able to just ride it out to a nice finish. And now Cryptic's here, going to be starting on the bot side, looking for some action. Maybe trying to assist Andretti more on this Jax pick, pathing towards that top side. Show just going to be doing a bot side clear. Himself and Taylor Swift.
Tay, that's not the place you want to be. It's going to get the introduction is Soranad, Stargate blow into the dredge line there, and will disengage. Soranad's so good on that Blitzcrank. Now finds himself on another champion, similar style, albeit that it is a different state of risk. Once you're in with Nautilus, it's very hard to come back out. Actually, well, the dredge line can get you out. You can play on that terrain a little bit. We'll see how that 2v2 goes down there. But action in that top lane. We're going to see this over and over again. It's a run back in game 1 here, Crims. Who are you favoring in this one?
Well, we already talked about that EDE here, but Taylor Swift burning that flash early is quite questionable. Cryptic's on his second return here to the Rift. Should be able to punish this flashless Aphelios. I mean, Taylor Swift really just blew it. Like, you just gave away that flash for free. And so now he's really hurting in this lane phase. We'll see if they can recover.
Andretti, he's got that priority. I know you love this champion so much. That's why I want to talk
Well,
over
now
him.
he has prio this time. He has prio this time around, so it's looking better. On the bounce back, we'll see. Pally actually had a really nasty freeze in game 1 against Andretti here. We'll see if that resurfaces, as Garen's going to be doing a little bit of an invade, getting some information against Michaud here. And Michaud skipped red buff, trying to stall out that red buff time I see. As this level 3 Maokai not looking for the gank, as well as Cryptic's just doing full clear. Doesn't really have an angle up top side, so now on the reset, could look for the Taylor Swift kill, first blood.
Well, Cryptics did take a little bit to get started in that game 1 on that Wukong, which was banned away in this one. This is why you see the Vi coming back here. Big ultimates later on in the stages of game 1 actually turned the tide in this one. Defending the base, running them back with the Hex Gates here, of course. We won't find that out for a while here. That Dragon's about a minute away, and Cryptics will sail on by that mid lane. Michaud is already in the bot side here, red buff acquired. And that full clear for the Maokai. It's so speedy down here in 350. So looking for a little bit of an opportunity. Seems like a little bit of desperation. All summoners available for the bot side of HSGC here. And it looks like Maokai is just wasting a lot of time down there, which invites Cryptics to double scuttle.
Double scuttle, huge. Honestly, wasn't earned. As we have Sarnads here for the engage. So far, looking like they're trying to fight their way out of this flash deficit. It comes at the cost of that Scuttle Crab, and up on top side, Pally finding a nice trade onto Andretti. Has the wave ready to bounce as well. Should be able to play safe. Taylor Swift does get knocked up.
Phasing, crashes down on
Cryptic's
Taylor
on the
Swift,
side.
got a flash, and it's going to be a Shattering Strike as well with the exhaust. It's going to be a flash into the queue for Cryptic, still falling up. Staggering Blow comes out for Soranaz to try and keep the AD carry alive. Not going to happen. Blaze Caller roots him up, going to root up that one as well. Dogman will get one back. Soranaz still leading the charge. Dredgeline goes back out, gets interrupted by Cryptics again, has to burn the flash to stay alive. They trade AD carry for the support in that bot lane.
Dogman out of nowhere saves the day on the bot side with Soranets able to pick a kill. Pally looking for the 1v1.
Oh, Okay, Pally, we see you. He gets the solo bolo.
Regretty. They're the regretty Garen pick. What can I say, Lamb?
I
What
don't know,
can
it's all
I say?
spaghetti to me.
Yeah, that is some spaghetti on the floor. I don't know where that came from.
Who did that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Mason, what do the numbers mean? I don't know what the spaghetti means, but we're gonna move with
You can't
it
just
anyway.
make a random reference. That doesn't. Okay. Anyway,
Ah,
the
we're all
spaghetti
in or
one made
nothing.
sense, but after that, you lost me. All right, Sardad's here. Just gonna be picking up this red
So
ward
stupid.
as Pally gets the Mallywop onto Ace Andretti
Now we're
on the top
rhyming.
side. I mean, come on, you know. I mean, we got a rhyme. We made a spaghetti and dready, regretty reference. Come on.
Special guest next week gonna be Matthew Mathers. Eminem gonna be on the desk next week. Actually, Crim's trying to take his job here, but we're gonna go back to that bot side again. I can't recover from that. Yep. We'll see if Spaghetti goes on the floor in this bot side. Gonna see an engage from Sorry Night straight on the Slatty. Gets the feathers out, roots some back up as well. Nautilus isolated, left alone. Taylor Swift gonna be the focus of Cryptics there. Gets knocked back by the Makai smash.
Wait a minute.
Rename Q right there. Beezing still on the front line there. Gets crashed down again. Mounts back up. Taylor Swift, they're going to turn it back around. Cut down the tree. Macho got nothing to say about that one. Taylor Swift and Sornaz left with 25% health each. I do believe there's a 50% chance of that dragon going over HSGC.
Yeah, they're in good position as the jungler did fall. Michelle wasn't able to survive. And yeah, Sornats kind of just went a little bit too deep there. Wasn't able to sync up the damage with Taylor Swift either. Just ended up taking a huge chunk with not much to return. And so that's going to net over this dragon. And again, HotSpot Gaming. They're first to the objectives. They're getting them done early yet again. And that dragon stacking was a big deal in the first game, Lamb.
They're still yet to drop an objective. Think about that. All dragons, all heralds, all barons into the pocket of HSGC as they continue that trend. In this game, they're going to pick up that dragon, 7:30 into the game. That's not bad timing. It's an Inferno as well, so that's going to help the damage coming out from Blur, Slatty, of course, Andretti up there in the top side as well. Cryptics, you're going to see Cryptics right now. Level 6 onto the Vive. Vaultbreaker being charged. Taylor Swift going to flash preemptively. Beezing actually tanking the turret for a little bit too long. They're going to root up the Nautilus, drop him, Slatty, burn in. Oh, the dive went horribly wrong. Taylor Swift defeated by the ground. Oh my god, couldn't get through the wall. Got minion blocked as well.
Yeah, Terrain, the ultimate villain there, as they completely turn it around bot side, though. No, Taylor Swift should be in a decent position. Pally going in once again onto Andretti, and those smacks from the Jacks are starting to hurt already.
Just having fun with it, aren't you?
Yeah, should I stop? I mean,
That was unintentional though, surely.
Shirley. Don't call me Shirley. As we
oh
have.
my god. Stealing my stuff.
I am stealing your stuff. I am stealing your stuff.
I mean, let's be honest. I'm very open source. I just say a whole bunch of things, and then the spaghetti on the floor. So we'll get back to that in a jiffy. But Vacar making.
I think we're having too much fun. We need to be.
Yeah, this is terrible. This is
Yeah,
terrible.
we're having too
Titans,
much fun.
Sam's is like, what's going on here exactly? Well, partly Demacian Justice on to the Jags. Okay, that's very
Nice.
respectful play coming through from Cryptics. Let's that kill go over with Ignite.
Sornads. Oh, level 6 difference here. This could be huge.
Beezing gets a crash down again. Magnet Storm still available. Feathers going out. Macho gets Nature's Grass through. That's going to be returned by Slight on the Feather Storm. They're going to focus up. The Rel about to go down here. Oh, actually flashes away and gets him mount up to safety, but he can't say the same for Slatty. Left to the Wolves will fall down there.
Yeah, Slatty playing aggressively there. Could have just taken the exit. Decides to try to fight for the support. Ends up burning him in the end there. I mean, look, it's a hero's play, but that's not what you want to have happen. The AD carry needs to survive, not the support.
Yeah, Beezing running away there. Probably unintentionally, honestly, but look how much gold is going to go into the pocket of the bot lane right here. Shelly actually dropped as well, so HSGC, they lose out on that first Rift Herald of this game, and that gold will funnel back into Taylor Swift. Remember, this AD carry is notorious for pulling out the carry from all angles of the game, and is off to a great start in this one.
Yeah, that is. I mean, we have here. Just want to look at the gold now, Lamb. We have a bit of a gold lead for emotional damage, as they have Aphelios with that bounty 2, 1, and 2 up in just a tad bit of CS. They're gonna need to make headway on these dragons though, coming up in 1 minute and 50. So far, I think they could make a good effort. They could also choose to give and make a play elsewhere on the map. Maybe top side, help out Pally some more. However, I mean, there's a lot of options available for EDE here, Lamb. They can do a lot of things in this game.
Options are never a bad thing. 10 minutes 30 on that Gale Force for Taylor Swift, 1, 2,
That's
3
big.
in the lineage. That's really good timing on that one. Looking to accelerate this game a little bit further beyond of HSGC as EDE are setting up to bounce back in this one. Veigar already got a kill in that department as well, and Pally only fallen due to that gank. Well, I want to say the gank, but actually a solo kill came through from Andretti. Cryptix wasn't involved in that one, and it looks like they're shaping up to
Double
take that
knockup.
dragon in a minute's time. Sornads gets the flash out to the Vi, so that's a big summoner already down with the dragon less than a minute away.
And some of those cooldowns for the ultimates will come through. I'm going to go ahead and check. I don't know the depth charge off the top of my head, but yeah, that one's going to come up, as well as Nature's Grass is not going to be available, so they're not going to be able to play with the Maokai ultimate, but the other ultimates versus the Flash, that's a good takeaway.
As Taylor Swift and Sornads teaming up to clear out that vision. You can see the top side towards that mid does belong to HSGC, shielding that Victor from any potential ganks, and it looks like this mid lane is kind of just breezed on by. No action there. Blur being relatively untouched, and you can see that referenced in the CS numbers. Stopwatch going to be completed for the Veigar as well, and the Everfrost. So once he's got that cage down, he's looking to root you up and make sure that you can't move. Accompany that with the Maokai there, Crimson. You got a recipe for success.
Hold up here. Pally doesn't know. Andretti?
Oh, he's on the wrong side of this
Half
lane, but it
HP.
might not matter. Spinto, when he's walking, talking, Andretti is making Pally burning. He'll get that solo kill again up there in the top lane.
All right, solo Bolo. Bit of a death trap set up. They have the jungler.
Anchor goes out, and that's going to be... Actually, is that DBZ Freak's anchor? Is he on a cruise in this game? They're going to land that one. That's a kill over to Aphelios.
All right, that's going to net them the dragon here. Going to go ahead, pull it out, get the secure. Can't do anything about topside. Andretti has earned those plates. However, we're not going to have this similar dragon stack situation. Yeah, somehow the long range steal from I don't know where. As they're going to be picking up the dragon. They're going to get the Hex Tech. That pairs very well with the Philios. And so now, the dragon stack, not a problem for EDE. They have more time. They've bought themselves more scaling availability in this game.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, Crims. For anybody who doesn't know, DBZ Freak, one of our good friends, and we get an Ocean Soul in this. It's just made for it. Where is he? He needs to be here. Anyway, he's just back from holiday. I wish I was going on a holiday, Crims, but it looks like we're going to have to stick to this casting stuff for a little bit longer in order to get the payout for that. I'm thinking the Bahamas, but you never know. Summoner's Rift
So
looks
cliche.
pretty juicy. Yeah, it is. It wasn't... Oh my god, actually did that off the top of my head. I didn't even think about it. So we're just exposing everything about DBZ here. Okay, it doesn't even matter. But let's check in with somebody who begins with D. That's going to be Dogman. He's got 104 on the Phenomenal Evil Power on the passive. Veigar sailing through this game. He got a needlessly large rod in inventory too. He's going for a early death cap. Maybe that'd be pretty spicy, albeit that with Veigar you want that explosive force. So on the other side, Andre probably the only one. I guess Vi could fall into that category as well of building resistances, but your sole goal for the Veigar is get rid of the Xayah, get rid of the Victor, make it extremely impossible for them to play these team fights.
Yeah, the Xayah and the Victor. Xayah's getting pretty safe. Victor not so much. Is pretty vulnerable to Sornads here, as they're going to be on position for Rift Herald. I think the best you can do from EDE here is just harass them, but you can't really do anything else, as your bot lane is south side of the Rift. They're going to try to make a play for mid. That's a good pickup, a good response here, and will pretty much negate that Rift Herald if they can get this down, though. There is no wave. They're going to have to wait for the next bounce. And that means there's time being bought to save this middle turret here.
Oh, HSGC, they take the long way around. Actually went up towards Garen. They're going to rotate
They're trying
back
to set
to
up
this
a
mid
play.
lane. Beezing flashing forward, engaging on Imasho. Roots him up for a second. Flashing from Makai. Going to be returned to Twisted Advance. Blade Caller,
the
it's
turnaround.
good. Feathers will stun him up from Slatty, but watches the jungler fall there. Chaos Storm burning. Taylor Swift has to burn the flash himself. Andretti walking in a little bit late to the party. Cage goes down. Blur going to eat the anchor again. Self by Sorinaz went a little bit too far. Teleport coming
Pally?
in from Pally. Counter strike looking to get some. He's tired of getting solo killed up there, and he bounces back with a kill of his own.
All right, they are, I believe they did win that 3-2 at the end of the day. And they did blow, I mean, a ton of summoners were used and ults were used in that fight. Importantly, I think HotSpot Gaming kind of just went a little bit too deep. They're not able to set up the damage combo from Slatty on the recall. And that was just so much damage missing in the kit. And that means that Dogman was able to get out and return fire. And he returned fire he did in big fashion. I mean, multiple blow-ups as well as just complete shutdown of Cryptics in that fight.
1,200 goals is the lead for EDE.
Oh, wait a minute.
Rel.
Ooh,
gets
okay,
that
nice
interrupt
buffer.
for a second. Walking it off like nothing even happened. You see a dragon. A minute 30 here, Crims. That vision game is starting to come online. Nautilus and Rel, they need to get busy with those wards.
Yeah, they're going to need to up their vision scores. Those are some rookie numbers. As we have Michaud trying to clear out this red and then contest for vision here. Using the smite for a faster clear. T-Swift's in the mid lane. The 3-man core, I like to call it. 80 carry support jungle. Establishing some dominance in this mid lane. That turret's looking awfully weak. And I think they're going to attempt to tip it over right before the dragon. That might burn them as we see Cryptics on the side. Hold on, T-Swift.
We're going to see a fight here. Cease and desist going to go into the AD carry. Vi left alone, and Sorinaz going to be returned on that side as well. Slide's going to secure that kill back end with a dismount magnet storm going to go down. All set up by Beezing. He's getting busy as he sets it up for success. His team abides. Blur chasing out Dogman. Is that cage going to come up? The laser goes out from Blur. Needs to be careful. Dogman still has the primordial burst. If you can get him low enough, he will not. Slatty and Beezing clear the wave as Andretti leads that charge into the mid lane turret.
They get the Aphelios. It looked like they didn't have enough damage. Oh, Dogman in trouble.
Oh, one more flash.
Has the auto. There it
just
is.
wants to make it happen. He's going to get Dogman. First death of the game for the mid laner of EDE, and just when that goal lead was in favor of EDE, HSG, they just bite back in this game.
HSG showing that they have the capability to match EDE in the mid lane, sorry, mid game and mid lane. As Blur is trying to clear this out, has the only Andres, so that's going to be a pretty good Dragon Slayer right there. And so far, the story of HSGC here is take down Taylor Swift, and they're doing it. They've killed him multiple times in these fights. The Vi shutting down the Aphelios, not enough peel yet again. And I mean, Sarnad's kind of just going he's like trying to counter engage to help save Taylor Swift, but it's just not enough.
Realizing the mistakes that happened with that Draven in the first game, Sornad stepping up a little bit more. Nautilus can be that benefactor of the peel when Blitzcrank, not as much. You get the knock up, you get the silence, but all in all, you're all in to try and set up for your team. Nautilus plays the game a little bit differently here, Crims. And of course, with that passive, can root up anybody that comes into melee distance of him. And so far, Sorna has not done a bad job about that one. As we approach 20 minutes into the game, the kills, I mean, there's been 21 kills in this game. Well over a kill a minute. It's entertaining. It's everything that you want on a Wednesday night in Titan Esports. Lamb and Crims, baby. You know it's always going to be entertaining. But that gold lead, again, is with HSGC as they look to maybe accelerate that a little bit more. Pings go down to that top lane. And the Garen, again, not done too badly in this game. I know you don't like it, but that spaghetti is being picked up and cleaned up as Andretti is back into this.
He got a little bit of hunger, started to munch on it.
Oh,
as we have the Baron control being established by HSGC here. However, they do not have the capabilities to clear it out at the moment. I mean, Rel's not using the scanner. I guess they're waiting for something. I mean, they're always looking for a play under Taylor Swift, it seems. Taylor Swift, couple seconds off that flash, has the Gale Force again. Should be able to be, self-peel himself a lot better compared to that last fight. We'll see if that's the difference maker.
Remember, this was a 10-minute Gale Force actually completed from Taylor Swift. So Bloodthirster now going to be completed for the Felios. What he lacks in damage capabilities right now, albeit that once he's got the right guns and he's ready for that fight, doesn't really matter what he's got in the inventory. He's going to dish it out as best that he can. He's made up for it in the sense that he can heal up anything and sustain the damage that will come through from HSGC here. Seeing engaged, Sorinaj throwing out that anchor again, but nobody's going to follow that one up.
Okay, Slatty makes his way to mid lane. There's so much vision from emotional damage around this Baron. No way that's going to be snuck under their watchful eye. And so they've established themselves a nice little spot in the mid lane here. They're able to clear. They're not afraid of the Baron take. And now they can get more power into T Swift while they're biding their time.
A lot of respect going down here, actually.
Yeah.
Such a patient game. They know the stakes are high. One mistake can snowball this game for either team. And with the way that it's going, HSGC wouldn't mind if that mistake was on EDE. They are one to the good in this series. If they can take this 2-0, they move up and they'll tie with EDE in the standings. So going into week 7, Crims, that's going to be oh so important because you never know with the seeding. You want to be in the best capable spot that you can. And in order to do that, they need to triumph today over EDE.
Do you remember, Lamb, we did pin EDE as a contender to win this entire tournament here. And this... Oh, wait a minute here. This is a 2v3. I don't think you want that.
Sornaz gets a flash out. Dredgeling gets interrupted by the Rel and Ace
pop, though.
Andretti. Gonna get that one. Dogman teleports to the mid lane, drops the cage. Andretti styling. He's gonna walk that one out as cool as you like.
They could have went for that. I don't think they knew the positions of the rest of the team members here. And they are able to pick up that kill, just not being careful of the roams or team positions here. It's going to net a lot of pressure for HSGC, HotSpot Gaming. They found another angle into this river here. They got the prio in the mid lane. And again, we're looking at a third dragon that's going to be staring emotional damage in the face, directly into their eyeballs.
6 out of 7 dragons is not a bad average in the series, especially for HSGC. They've only given one over and it's been in this game. But again, seem to have reached that lull in the game. 30 seconds on this next dragon, which will be sole point for HSGC if they can get it here. But you can see how much emphasis EDE are putting on this. They don't want to take anybody away from that river because the vision is so important.
The vision is the game. It's the way to win. Get these fights with your vision control here. And now, I mean, Lamb, this is pretty much even. The surrounding vision is owned by HSGC. However, the most important vision that has been cleared out, and there's a nice little pocket for emotional damage to play in. And look how long range their abilities are. The Maokai saplings, the Vagar cage, and the gravity that drops down from Vagar's ability. I don't know that one. They just have so much range here. Andretti finds a flank. However, he's spotted.
Yeah, he gets ever frosted up for days, and the Garen just runs it. The team now have to hightail it back to the mid lane. Root goes out from Makai, but Zing will walk that one out, and it looks like that's it. That's all EDE needed, and they're going to take that dragon.
That was some brain games from Dogman. All right, they pick it up. No steal in sight. And that third soul, going to have to wait for that 5-minute marker. The Baron vision completely open. If they do commit too hard to bot side here, a little late, could have been taken up. As now, I mean, this game, again, dead even. These teams in the mid game, they just are equally matched.
I wonder what the call was there from Andretti. I got him. I got him.
I got the flank. I got the flank. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. I threw the game. Sorry, guys.
Oh, man. Well, that dragon ties it up. And again, that's going to put more emphasis on who can actually get that soul point. It's going to be really close. And that's one thing we can say for certain, but the Baron's going to be available right now. And it looks like EDE, they are walking there a little bit quicker than HSGC.
HSGC have mid lane access. EDE just completely give that away here. Oh, they're trying to... Oh, no, Andretti? Not again!
Oh,
not again!
It's the instant run back. He'll take a little bit more time to go down here. Flashes out. Cage goes down from Vega on Dre.
The rel
and
engage!
With the huge engage magnet storm on multiple Slatty. Oh my god, just goes kamikaze. Makai gonna fall there. The chaos storm burning them in the corridor. Flash out from Cryptix. Resend it back. Is Taylor Swift just ripping through this HSGC squad as EDE win that fight 3 for 2.
The engage from Rel was 2 for 2. The engage from Rel was huge, but there was no follow-up. Wait, Taylor Swift just gets double lifted.
In favor of HSGC now.
It's always Victor. It's just always Victor is the one who does that. But yeah, Taylor Swift gets double lifted there. Can't do anything about that. Slatty tried to lay down the damage with an aggressive Featherstorm. It's just not enough. The stopwatches pull on through, prevent all the damage. They win the fight. I mean, it pretty much ends up even at the end of the day, Lamb. And we're at the stalemate again. These teams, I mean, they're just, when it comes to these team fights, when it comes to the macro and the mid game, just pretty much evenly matched. And these games, I mean, anyone can win these games. I don't think either one of these teams has any significant advantage.
All right, the stage is set. The pantomime villain, who's it going to be? I got a funny feeling Andre is going to have something to say about it. The Garen seems to just be moonwalking into oblivion. Sea walking, maybe. He's gangster. He makes that one count. Every time he goes in, maybe he doesn't come out, but what a show he puts on. We'll see if he can keep that one up as he evens out his KDA just a little bit. But this is a story of the mid laners. This is a story of the Baron going to be started here. This is under full information, I believe, from EDE. So let's see if they can do something about it. Is they're actually forcing them off to get the teleport out of Dogman, and that's enough.
I think they could have played that a little more cautiously, EDE. I mean, Slatty wasn't there. So that Baron damage was significantly lower. Hook lands as the ace gets out of there. Pally's behind. Not too far, though. This mid turret, though, has been the thorn in the side of EDE. They have not been able to destroy it yet. And it looks like it's not going to be anytime soon. And the same story is going to be happening again. Oh, Dogman. Caught out.
Looking for a pick on Dogman. Damascene Justice not going to come through. The cage goes down from Veigar. The disengage is good. Courage goes up from Andre. He's always looking for those picks. And take your attention to that Victor's itemization right now. I can tell you he's about 600 gold off that Rabadon's. Doesn't look like they're going to wait for it here as Andre is forced out in that mid lane. And they're still going to start up the Baron here. They're going to coin flip this. Crims, this is going to be electric. Aphelios and Veigar a little bit slow out of the gates here, though.
Yeah, they had to reset. This Baron's ticking down. Makai ultimate kind of just wasted. Sorenet's trying to find an angle in. Victor zoning away at the moment. 4K on Baron. They're doing it slow. They're trying to bait in the fight.
Oh, they're just going to fight straight in front of the Baron here. Pally gets the lead strike out. Counter strike going to run up for a second. Pally burning with the Chaos Storm. Victor's damage. Double kill for Taylor. Swift Feathers go out. Slatty realizes this situation is not a good one to be in here, Crims. As now they're going to take the ace. EDE, they accelerate in this game with a 1,400 gold lead and the ace.
HSGC dancing around the Baron a little too long, and Taylor Swift absolutely popped off in that fight. They let him go unchallenged, and I mean, that was almost a pentakill, Lamb. If we had replay technology, we go back and we look, how close was Taylor Swift to just getting the raw penta right there?
The guns. It's the gun show. That's what it is. Aphelios locked in is a priority pick for EDE, and it looks like whatever AD carry Taylor Swift has in his grasp to pilot is going to be an exciting one. That dragon's going to be started up. Remember, guys, this is sole point for either team. And you can see Rel and Vi making a beeline towards it. Teleport actually loose from Pally, but this is going to come down to a smite fight. Aphelios and Veigar again lay out of the gates here. 2,000 on that one.
It.
That's going to be stolen by Vi. That's huge. Puts him on his sole point. Gonna turn it back around, gets my show, opposing jungler. Gonna fall for that commitment. Cryptics now, they're making a beeline to that Baron.
Michaud is down. There's no smite to contest, and they're down a jungler. They get the pick on Dogman.
Oh, he held on to cease and desist, gets on a Dogman, Sly aiming for the wave, and it looks like that'll be enough. Cryptics making Dogman pay for that one. Now they're gonna take that Baron.
All right, Dogman, short legs, hard to get away on the Veigar. Cryptics catches up with the long strides, and now they're on the Baron. I mean, what more could you ask for? Get the kill on Michaud, pick up the dragon. Yeah, get the kill right onto Dogman, the powerhouse in the CC burst damage department for EDE. And now you got the Baron. It's looking very similar to game number 1 here, Lamb. HSGC, they're just better in the mid game.
Well, Baron power play is going to be online for them, and Dogman looking more like a pug than a greyhound right there. I was actually thinking up an analogy in order to get that one across. Maybe a little bit too late, maybe missed the window, but that window is still open for EDE to bounce back in this game if it's given. They're either going to keep it open, or I can tell you HSGC, they're going to kick that damn window in and come through anyway. They're going to use it as a front door straight for the Nexus. We'll see how this one transpires. As again, it looks like they're going for the 1-4. They're sending that Garen to the top side.
They have the availability to just kick down these turrets and take all that gold. There's basically 6 of them just waiting to be taken. I think they could get on the Baron. We'll see. It would be a real huge boost in gold if they could pull it off. So far, though, it's slow going with these turret takes, as Taylor Swift's putting up a really good fight, and once the Veigar gets into good spot, is a massive wave clear champion. They need to spread this Baron. Look, they need to go bot side. No one is even attempting to push in all 3 lanes, spread out the Baron, separate, make sure Veigar can't cover the waves.
And this is what you want from EDE. You just let them force. Come straight down the middle. We'll clear that out every single time, albeit that this turret is second tier and that mid lane is slowly being chipped away by those Baron empowered minions. They got the cannon now, so this might be enough to take it down. Yes, it is. There it goes. First objective going to go down with the Baron power play from HSGC here. Now they're pinging over to that bot lane Crims that you already made reference to, so they realize have to try and sync up the waves, but they're taking everybody. Nobody going to be pushing that mid lane now.
Yeah, they could go for the mid lane push on the side of EDE, send one person defend. They're definitely giving over this turret, no question about that. No way to defend. Veigar gets the mid push, gonna make his way down to the bot side. This Baron more than halfway done. I'd say past the 2/3 mark now. And there's 1/3 left to Baron to wait out for the side of EDE.
1200 gold now. Lead. We'll see if they can build on that one. Chaos Storm goes out to get my show out of that front line. Level 16 now on Blur. He's burning through. Got that Rabadon's death cap completed as well. Itemization starting to come through from everybody across the board here. Veigar got the Zhonya's completed, the 3rd item there. And most importantly, Taylor Swift here. Crim's got that IE completed.
Yeah, had the 3 items and now has the armor pen. So that's when he can just start hitting the front line and just slicing through the rest of the team with AoE damage. 1 minute on this dragon. And so far, the smite fights have gone the way of Cryptics. Just the better smiter on this day.
Oh
wait, Sornads
stolen one and away. Oh,
Cease and
actually
desist.
misses the Vault Breaker. Gonna completely go for Sornads here. They will get him.
Overturn fire.
That's going to come through. That's going to be self for Taylor Swift. Moon Vigo goes out from the Aphelios. Lays down the challenge. Challenge not accepted. HSGC, they're going to retreat here back to that river.
All right, both supports have died. However, more ultimates burned from the side of EDE. Aphelios, though, quick to come up. Same with Michaud on the Nature's Grasp. They're getting zoned out. They had to give the mid-wave push. Now they're out of the river. That's huge advantage for Dogman. There's just so much zone control in the kit of Veigar. I mean, look at these AoEs. They're deadly. And not only that, that cage is so scary to walk right into. They get position. They're giving it mid-prio, but eventually they're going to have to make their way back to the dragon, and now they are. And the dragon, Cryptics, I mean, you've been winning the smite fights. I think you're just going to go for it. A coin
He's
flip.
bursting it down now. Yeah, Vi's going to go in there as the cage gets dropped, and Stasis is going to be activated as well, which gives Masho time to get that smite off pretty clean. Primordial burst. Already used one of Cryptics, but going to change focus here. Going to Andretti Spaghetti. He's going to get dropped right there. Nature's Gas will go out from Masho. Zaya gets one back with a Veigar Sornads. Goes across the wall. Flash Vault Breaker set up for Blur. This is a really powerful Victor. Inspector Gadget Goggle. Masho gets twisted advance. That magic stay alive. Sornads gets interrupted. Gets to the brush, but he might be the next to fall. As Cryptics will get that one. 4 for 1 in favor of HSGC.
Again, they take down Taylor Swift in the back line. The Vault Breaker from Cryptics. That was a do or die moment. If they don't get that, they don't get the kill on a Taylor Swift. And he would have ran rampant in that fight. Masho, last man standing. The game, I don't know. I don't think it's over, Lamb.
Well, it's only a 3,000 gold lead for HSGC, but man, they're making it count now. Baron power play. I believe it's almost over, if not over already. And they're going to get the inhibitor. They got what they came for. They got 25 seconds on that next one. And it looks like they're going to reset here. Those supers will start marching it down that mid lane. Now they need to try and get the other way synced up. And Andre is doing a good job of that. The Garen's sole job in this game right now is just to keep those waves a-coming.
All right, I think they should just beeline for Baron here. If you're EDE, they're late on the backs. Slatty, there's about, 10 seconds? They can get some real Baron damage done. It looks like Cryptics is going to be able to reach there. TP coming out. All right, now they have Baron position. They don't have a lot of time, though, because the mid wave, it looks like they're not going to dogpile into the Baron. They're going to go for that mid wave instead. And now that Baron rush off the table.
HSGC, they're poised. They're in control of this game, but for how long? Baron, going to be the next benefactor of all the damage. You better believe that's going to be true. Andre should be able to get this one in. Deadman's play. Going to mean a speedy Garen will be able to get back to the Baron if he's called upon. Cryptics threatening as well. Cage goes out just in case. And that cage was a very scary cage.
Wait, do they have the catch?
Dogman. Taylor Swift has a white gun available. Goes to the green.
Don't.
Andre is just going to walk that one out. They realize the Garen's too quick, which gives enough time. They peel him off enough. 7,000 on that Baron. Looks like we're going to get the commitment now. Sorinaz, Garen's going to be late to the party. He might be zoned out here. Doesn't even matter. The damage just insurmountable. Oh, the Moonlight Vigo is huge. Taylor Swift ripping through. HSGC will actually be turned around, but it's not enough. Triple kill onto this notorious AD carry. Stealing the damn spotlight. Cryptics, that pendulum swung and crashed them in the jaw. Masho will get that one. That's going to be the ace. And once again, this game changes hands.
EDE, they land that haymaker. It was a puncher's chance, and they got it right there at the end. Dogman, I don't know if you saw that, Lamb, locks him into the Baron pit with the cage, completely zoning them out. Taylor Swift then just runs right in, hits the AoE, and Dogman just lights them up. It was an absolute shooting gallery. And now they get that Baron, and they win that fight. Importantly, that's just so much control given over to emotional damage. And not to mention the mental victory there. If you're HSGC, you thought you had the Baron, and you thought the game was won off Andretti, just pulling them away. And it ends up being a curse. It wasn't a blessing. It was trickery at the end of the day. And now, look at that. Taylor Swift has that item completed on that to the next. Just more damage being built into the kit. Slatty doing his best to keep up, not doing a bad job. It's just that the champion kits, one's meant for more offense than the other one. Slatty's more peel. And so far, Dogman, look at this. This Veigar is just level 18. The cage, the cooldown so low, and the damage. Strong. Yeah, and look at, has built the dead man's for that increased speed and catch potential.
Now he's
Taylor
a
Swift,
greyhound.
wait a minute. Yeah, now he's a greyhound with short legs.
Well, if anybody cares, that soul point's about to be up in 20 seconds.
They're looking for it.
Might not be needed. HSGC, they need to hightail it back. Remember, if EDE grab this one, we're going to a game 3. They're going to collapse on the A-Sons.
Relevant
Ready,
engage.
V-Thing's going to be on the front line as well. They've rooted up everybody. Great Maokai Almay separate the carry. Zaya,
Cryptics all
Victor
alone.
locked away from this one, turning the back. Fights on 2-edge. Cryptics going to be the first casualty of this one. They've left the Victor alone. You better believe that invitation is going to be accepted from Macho. And now 3 remain. Macho leading the charge for the team. Pally goes in, Dredgeline goes wide, Slatty will bring back the feathers, but Dogman will knock him out with a primordial burst. Pally leading the charge still on Dready about to fall. The last remaining stance is going to be depleted here. That's the ace. And EDE bring this game back from the dead.
After they get Cryptics, HSGC, they split up, and then they're just completely helpless. Macho with the phase rush runs in, locks them up, and they're just lambs to the slaughter. Emotional damage. Emotional damage, Lamb, they pulled it back. I mean, they tossed it, and they got it back again. It was just a game of catch, but in the end, emotional damage, they get the final one, and they win this game. It couldn't have been closer until the end. I mean, these teams so evenly matched, and these team fights are insane. But I think the story this time, Lamb, Taylor Swift was getting dove over and over again. But eventually, Cryptics was just solo diving Taylor Swift. They peel, they get the kill. He runs rampant in these team fights. Dogman finally gets to the scaling point a little smoother this time on the Veigar. And then the power. I mean, we've seen Dogman on Veigar, on Anivia, on these huge scaling control mage picks. We know what he can do in the late game.
Try and stop him. That's my advice. And I mean, what a performance. You rightly said that the recipe of why Taylor Swift ended up with 12 kills in this game. I mean, if we had the replay technology, folks, it's probably coming, by the way. Titan Esports, they got phenomenal production and people working behind the scenes, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about the damn Dogman, who was a Greyhound at the end, built that dead man's, locked them up, and Taylor Swift got the strike. I mean, if you're in bowling, that's not a split, that's not a spare, that's a strike right dead in the middle, wiped them completely, and the game just swung from there. It was a phenomenal, entertaining game, and it's setting up for a game 3 so nicely, Crims.
Yeah, I mean, any team could take it. I think both of these teams showcase what they can do. I think that in this game, Taylor Swift had a lot more freedom, and we could see ends up being a big difference. And the damage Taylor Swift is able to put out in this game, 40K, well above the rest for his team. I mean, Dogman was doing a lot, but I mean, let's be honest, we know where their bread is buttered. Taylor Swift is the core, is the engine for damage, and was able to just get off. And I mean, multiple Moonlight Vigils, multiple engages with the Gale Force to get the kill. Taylor Swift, amazing, phenomenal AD carry. You got to shut him down. Similar in game number 1 if you want HSGC to win. Otherwise, EDE, where's the peel for this man? You keep building comps without peel, yet he's so vital to your core. I don't understand. You have too much confidence. You have too much confidence in your AD carry.
Well, just look at the numbers. Like you said, Crims, Victor, oh my God. I mean, the Chaos Storm was doing so much in that game. Slatty was playing so phenomenal. The micro was great, but ultimately it just proved too little too late. The amount of burst potential they had, the Veigar, by the way, I checked in on his stacks. He had an additional 330 AP on top of the rest of the items that he had. So that's one-shotting stuff right there. If he gets on slide, just one shots, phenomenal performance. What a series, geared up for game 3. Break, Crims, good. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for these two contenders, HSGC, EDE, putting on a spectacle here, Crims. Phenomenal gameplay from both sides, and really, there's nothing between them. But that can all change in a matter of seconds. As we're into this picks and bans, looks like there's no adaptations thus far. Wukong going to be taken away. Zeri, Lulu, hyper focus in the EDE bot lane. Sejani, again, it looks like they're just running it back. Will we see the Garen for the third time in the series? Will we
I
see
mean,
it?
EDE are content in picking it, and HSGC are content in countering with Garen, and I am not happy with that at all.
Well, yeah, you better learn your lesson. Keep Crims happy, or he'll just flame you. That's usually what happens.
It's
But
true.
Jinx going to be taken away as well. That's not going to go over to Taylor Swift in this one, nor is it going to go over to, I believe it is Slatty. Yep, Slatty had the phenomenal game on that champion in game one. So that's going to be taken away as well.
Oh,
And these
okay.
picks, okay, that's going to be super hyper focused on the market. You can see why the Nature's Grass, it was setting up for such success in game two there.
So they have the option of the J4 counter. They have an option of the Udyr counter here for EDE. Obviously, Michelle can play either of those champions here. Up to them decide how they want to do it. Interestingly enough, they do have the first pick 80 carry, and I guess they didn't need any time to lock it in. As I was talking about it, they just go for the Xayah snap up right away. I think it makes sense into the Maokai, and they've really been trying to dive Taylor Swift, Lamb. So might as well give him a carry that can self-peel. The question is, does HSGC switch tracks here and go for a different style, avoid peeling, or avoid diving into Taylor Swift now because of the Xayah pick?
Well, it just might happen with the Sivir being locked in here. This is a different look for HSGC. We'll see what they compare that out with. Lulu was banned away by themselves, so it's not going to be that one. Karma is usually a really good pick alongside the Sivir as well. There's multiple things you can go. You go hard engage here, Thresh, another one, but Bard?
Okay, but Bard.
We're going to see the Bard in this game. Love it. That's bravery right there.
Okay, Bard is a very hard champion to pilot, and you have to really know what you're doing to get usefulness out of the ult. And Udyr can, by the way, immune it. So can Xayah as well, can dodge it. So not actually sold in the Bard. I think it works more on champions who are, immobile or don't have any way to get out of it, like the Varus. You kind of just, if he's out of position, he gets hit by it. As we have the Jax blind, and guess what's going to happen if they don't ban
Please.
Garen?
Don't ban.
They're not going to ban Garen. Pally is by them by 1,000%. I bet you Pally is saying right now, don't ban the Garen. I could totally handle this matchup. I've been doing fine all game. So they're not even going to ban the Garen. 100%.
Well, we'll see. We still got another 3 chances for that Garen to be taken away here.
I mean, it's better with Sivir. It's better with Sivir. I'm going to say that.
True. Yeah.
Better with
Speed
Sivir.
up. Yep. Actually, do you know what else is good with Sivir? Veigar.
Okay.
Is
Veigar
better
also
with
has the
Sivir
speed up as well.
Yep.
Any champion who likes getting speed will enjoy the Sivir.
Yes.
That is guaranteed. As we have here, the final bans locking in.
Okay.
ASOL
Nivea
makes a lot of
still-
sense.
Yeah, Nivea is still up here. To touch on that ASOL, so that's going to be banned away from Dogman. He actually had a really good game on that as well. Wasn't quite enough. Fell off a little bit. Strangely enough, even with the scaling itemization on that champion, the time that you actually get to your damage items, the damage just wasn't coming through enough to get those one shots that that champion is kind of designed to do. I don't know what it's designed to do. It flies around, it spins its head 360, and then it sets you on fire. It's pretty relentless. And look, Crim's hairdresser's going to be banned away in this one. No Gwen. Come
Yeah,
through.
no Gwen.
Veigar is going to be taken away.
Okay. Do they go Anivia? That is a decent question. I mean, Sivir is short range, so actually, despite the spell shield, Anivia works very well with the slow field, and you can burn her spell shield that way as well. Bard is kind of in the range of Anivia as well. Maokai you could prevent the engage by throwing up a wall as well. Karma, so they're gonna pick their support first. Makes a lot more sense. Why was I thinking about mid lane here? But I mean, we all know we're thinking about it. What's Dogman gonna play? That's a big deal here.
What is Dogman going to play? I actually like the Anivia here because one thing that Anivia offers that Bard kind of enhances as well is dive protection, right? When they're trying to siege, drop the ultimate, get your combinations off, delete the whole wave, but they're going to lock in
Tom
the
can't stop.
catfish instead. That's going to go to the top lane for sure because Makai already picked up. Bard already. Actually, give us Bard in the solo lane. What about that? For game 3, give me the Bard in the top. No, that's trolling. Don't listen to Lamb. Don't do that. It's terrible. Terrible idea.
It's
But
mid bard. It's mid bard. That's what Lamb wants. He wants the mid bard.
yes,
Okay, Syndra makes 1,000 times
makes
more
perfect
percent.
sense. Yeah, yeah.
Makes 1,000 times more percent. Since Anivia can be played into the Syndra, so this is a viable option. I guess you don't like the Anivia into the Bard ultimate. That is kind of a pain in the butt. As they just go for Seraphine, they're gonna bounce it off the Udyr Jax, and they don't need to peel their Zai at all. So, wait. I mean, they do have an option of switching Karma to the mid lane here. I don't think they want to do that, though. Seraphine makes a lot more sense. So, Seraphine going to be the mid lane. I mean, Dogman likes to scale, so he's found out a very good champion to scale against the Syndra here. Once she gets her heals unlocked, Syndra's going to have a hard time killing anyone, especially with the empowered heal. And the Charm ultimate can just completely wipe through a team fight, sending it in the favor of EDE. And, I mean, look, we know Dogman and hitting his big ultimates in a team fight. He can do it. Taylor Swift, you can't dive him this time, Lamb. And now HSGC, they just got to fight it front to back.
Yeah, front to back, traditional way to get through there as quick as you can, but Masho is going to be the focus of a lot of the damage that will come out from HSGC this Udyr. I mean, they could honestly just play 1-3-1 in this game and it would be perfectly fine. Xayah extremely safe, Karma, Seraphine too, Jackson Udyr in the sides is really nice, but there's pick potential on HSGC too, because the Bard comes into play, the Makai can hit you out with Fog of War. The Syndra is very good at getting those displacements during the fight as well, and to set up what could be a phenomenal game again from Slatty to actually try and take this over. But the Sivir's going to need time. The Syndra doesn't need as much time to actually be a benefactor of what the pressure can be in this game, but in order to make sure that Makai gets off to the best start possible, because it's going against an Udyr, and with the nerfs that come with the Makai now, Crims, that Udyr is much heavily favored in this matchup.
I mean, I think the Udyr is actually going to have a lot of power in this game because there's not a lot that could stop him, and they have Karma Seraphine to heal him up, so he's going to have a lot of sustain, and so there's not a lot to peel off the Udyr, especially with the CC immune. So I'm actually thinking not going to be much of a problem. I know people traditionally think you're going to get locked up when there's an enemy Maokai. I don't think that's the case, and you can't really just heavy dive onto Taylor Swift because he's going to Featherstorm, and then now you're just stuck in a rock and a hard place, and they're just going to basically kill you. So actually,
that's not good.
Yeah, that's definitely not good. That's not, yeah, Lamb, A+. A+ commentary there.
Thank you.
No, but I think Udyr can run down the Sivir despite her with her speed boost. They have the Karma as a way to get that Udyr in as well with the shield. So, I mean, Udyr gets a big boost from the team comp here from EDE. So maybe Masho, they're gunning for Masho to carry a little bit in this game.
I think so. I think there's a lot of pressure on this Udyr to actually get off the mark. Again, it's going to be very tough if the Sivir gets ahead. If Slatty just turns up in this game, I mean, you could say Slatty, but a lot of emphasis actually on Blur. That Victor was phenomenal. And was it Victor? No, it was the other way around. Sorry, got it wrong. Got it wrong. Maybe got it wrong. Lamb is terrible for remember what we just played. My memory is I'm like a goldfish.
Wait, no, it was Victor.
It was. Yeah, it was. I had it right to begin with.
I could have. I'm not a good teammate. I could have saved you a little bit earlier there, but yeah, it was Victor.
He's just watching me burn. Look at this guy, right? We've done how many casts together, and he's just thrown me under the bus. Under the bus you go.
All right, maybe next time I don't say anything at all. How about?
Now I'm really doomed.
Now I'm getting flamed. I threw myself under the bus, and then you poured gasoline over me. Like,
It's not cheap. It's not cheap. You need to make it count. It's not cheap. That's actually really
okay.
sinister. That's really sinister. But my point is that Blur is very capable in the mid lane, and the fact that running the Syndra here, I always get excited when you've seen such high level play. I want to say I think Blurs deserved that tonight, right? These individual plays that have come out in game one and game two now gets a Syndra, which is a safer pick if you get the disengage correct and has the execute. So kind of the best of both the worlds while still having to execute it properly. And the question is, can he do it in this game? Because this is high stakes, high pressure. It's the last one. This is basically the final of week 6. And there's only another week left before we get to playoff here, Crimson. Really, HSGC, they have to win this game.
And this is where you're looking to get into form. You're basically trying to be full strength. You want to peak as a team right now, and then keep that going through in the playoffs here. So both these teams trying to show their best look. And yeah, the Syndra Blur has the burst in the mid game, should have advantage over the Seraphine. If we hit late game, and I do want to mention, all the games did go late game, Lamb.
Yes, they did.
Seraphine's gonna have
plus.
the ability to cancel out with the healing and the shielding. And yes, I get straight A's.
Straight A's. Yep. That's why you get straight A's and I get A pluses. So we work together very well. We don't want to talk about my education. So again, I want to actually touch on the Zaya Karma uh, combination as well,
Mhm.
because well, that's confirmed it as well. It's no surprise that Seraphine is going to go to that mid lane, so we'll see Dogman pull that one out, and of course, so comfortable on the Veigar. But Crims, talk to me about the Zaya Karma. Karma seen a resurgence in that support role. Traditionally, you want to take Zaya out with the Rakan. It just makes sense, right? Lovers Duo is so effective together, and you can get the backs off as well. But Karma offers a little bit of differential in that game state, and going up against Sivir Bard, that's a really good lane
Mhm.
for Karma.
It's any lane is a good lane for Karma. She's just that broken. Once you hit the mantra Q level 1, you basically take over the lane from that point on. If you miss it, you basically threw the entire game bot side. So it's going to be on Sarnads to hit that mantra Q level 1 there. But yeah, Karma's going to offer you a lot of lane control into the Bard. Bard's not going to be able to do nearly as much. Sivir does have better lane clear than the Zaya, but Zaya can also help. So the combination of them should be able to give them perma prio in the bot side. It's going to force Bard to roam and leave Sivir on his lonesome. At least that's what I think is going to happen. Bard's way better at roaming than Karma is. But if they get prio, Karma's going to be able to get first move 90% of the time. And that could leave Syndra exposed if they don't get that play off. Bard can come mid lane, expose Syndra himself. And there's a nice combo set up for either one of these mid laners. The snare from Seraphine to lead up to other CC, and the stun combo from Syndra. So both of these mid laners have set up. People are going to roam mid, affect that matchup. It's going to pay off huge dividends in the end game.
And what does that actually spell for the junglers here as well, right? Because we're looking to see Maokai get through the early game unscathed, but against the Udyr, is that how it's going to happen here? Because the pressure, like, look at the lanes right now. Jack's going to have a big push onto the Tam Kench for a little bit. I mean, that might go both ways, right? Tam Kench is that sleeper pick that we don't see it all the time, but when it does come up in that top lane, it becomes very difficult for anybody to actually take a carry into that champion because it's just so tanky once you get that grey health.
I mean, Tom Kench actually is just such a strong tank topside laner. It's hard to duel into Tom Kench 1v1 because his stun, his Q, the lick has a lot of damage. Plus, you can get into a stun, has a low CD, does damage based off his health. Tom Kench, you want to build health. So, for a prio tank topside, is very strong. Problem with Tom Kench is compared to other tanks, just doesn't offer as much utility. Like Cho'Gath and Malphite and Ornn, they all have really good, more reliable engage in CC. Tom Kench does not have any of that. He does have Peel, so this could give Blur, or it could give Slatty an escape option that they wouldn't normally get. Or you could actually use it aggressively, but like literally no one uses it aggressively. I think that's a mistake that people should start doing now. But yeah, Tom Kench should be able to take it early to Jax. Of course, will get outscaled. And we'll just see. Pally, I mean, do you know this matchup as well? You're being tested by Andretti here.
Well, the tried and tested Pally. We'll see that again. The 1v1 potential in that top lane. They both solo killed each other multiple times in this series. We're going to cut to a small break, guys. But when we come back, it's going to be the finale between EDE and HSGC. Don't go anywhere. It's the finale. Strap yourselves in. As EDE and HSGC push themselves to the limit in this one. Emotional damage, energy, and of course, Hotspot Gaming Crimson looking to see who can top each other. And again, Crims, so much respect was put down in game two that I got a sneaky feeling this one's not going to be as explosive because once again, those stakes are so high.
We will see if there's any itchy trigger fingers here. I do think, I mean, again, Andretti, you gotta win your topside matchup. You're gonna fall off, lose effectiveness in the game. And Masho, when you want to see this early game, Udyr activated. Counter jungling's back in the game, Lamb. I don't know if you paid attention at 3.5. So stealing away camps from Maokai is an effective way to shut him down, slow him from getting to a strong point in the game. We'll see if Masho can activate that. Opts for the Ghost. So we're going to have a bear charging straight in and try to pick up some kills here. As both junglers pathing opposite ways again in this matchup. We'll see who pulls out the first gank. Masho in a decent position with this Udyr.
Well, we're seeing a little bit of a different style in this game. Slary and Taylor Swift so used to those hard engaged supports. There's that mantra on the level 1 Crims was talking about, and Soranad's going to get that one off. So charging up that money, Spell Thief's going to be procced every time for both of these enchanters in that bot side. And again, enchanter's going to come into this game. They're changing it up. We've seen Thresh, we've seen Blitzcrank, we've seen Nautilus, Rel, and all of a sudden we just see these really heavily poke harass lanes, which again, Bard's not going to mind that too much. You can heal up from his W, so you're going to have that in the tank if you need it. The disengage from the Q as well. You see Soranaj trading heavily again. This is going to be the common theme in this bot side. Now, look at the Warden here, actually, from EDE. They're going to spot out the Maokai, so Cryptix is under full information of where he's pathing right now, and it'll be interesting to see if Masho can make the most of that.
Yeah, Masho. I mean, we're really looking for Masho to have a big performance in this game, Lamb. We're saying the comp is set up for him, and he's in position. We'll see what Masho can do. Maokai is slower on the clear. So far, though, no gank bot side. The Prio from the Karma lane is pulling through. Pally doesn't have the bounce yet, so Cryptix could look up there for the gank. Ward can come down, provide some defense, but I mean, they could just walk around it. They know the position of this, so we'll see after this camp here. Cryptix, does he get the gank onto Pally, who has been absolute menace in team fights, diving the backline over and over, providing so much coverage for EDE in these fights.
Well, one thing for sure is even though that ward is up there and it will spot out the Maokai, Tam Kench's ability to just keep you slowed permanently is so annoying, infuriating at times. And once he gets that passive stacked, he can then stun you up for a little bit of the duration that goes with that one. We'll see if that acquired taste will fit the catfish. And that top side as well, as we're dialing it back just a little bit, Crims. We got extremely excited in game 1, more excited in game 2. Got the reset, everybody's mental, back to the drawing board. It's a best of 1. And you can see, again, right across the map, everybody farming up, doing their best in these lanes, not really trading that much in the mid lane. Of course, it is Dogman on the Seraphine. He's not going to get the Veigar in this one. It was banned away. That's a good cosmic binding from Bizing, who, again, has been so proactive in making the plays happen for his team. Need to keep our eyes on him as well, because Bard is one of these champions. He can get around that map pretty quickly, but can he get to the right place at the right time?
So far, I mean, he's just being glued to this turret by that Karma lane, as there was no gank topside. Both junglers invaded, and they laid down some vision, respectively, for their team. And yeah, this is basically the quietest game so far. Both teams maybe a bit on edge. No one really wants to mess it up so early into the game. And this is going to be the most delayed first blood of the entire series.
Well, 5 minutes on the clock. Dragon just spawns right now, so we'll see if anybody wants to actually make a play around that one. Maokai is on the south side of the map right now. Taylor Swift returning the lane. Soranad's not that far behind. The Karma going to stick pretty closely to this Imperious AD carry. He's been so good in this game. You can say that Slary, it's been returned. And again, both of these AD carries, we topped them at the very start here. And for Taylor Swift, this has been a story of just success after success. This AD carry, every time we cast over a game here, Chris, is never looked out of place. And it looks like Bizing, he's going to be on the lookout for the Traveler's Call. He's going to get through there with the portal. So Masho just flexing muscles a little bit, but the Bard will walk that one out.
Yep, he burns the exhaust to survive the Udyr burst. I mean, he got teared to shreds right there, bleeding from those bear claws. And that looks like it's going to net them with the Prio bot lane. That pressure going to net them. The first dragon, the first dragon for EDE. Is this the tides changing in this game here, Lamb?
Well, it's definitely not something that HSGC have been doing that so often in this series. They're not giving over that first dragon, but it looks like they don't have a choice in this case. Maokai up there in the top side still, babysitting the catfish up there on Andretti. Finds himself on a champion, tank duty. It's not always what you want to see in the top laner, but sometimes you just need to pull it out here, Crims, and say, okay, we've had enough of the Garen. It's now time to play something for the team. Even though that Garen wasn't too bad out of place. The executions came in from the Demacian Justice. I mean, we've seen that 1v5 gank. Well, if you could say it, gank. He had the flank, but he just didn't have any follow-up on that dragon fight in the last game as well. So Andre, it doesn't look like he's going to make out with this lane very far, because Pally is in complete control with this lane right now. It's actually bouncing back towards him. Slow push activated from Pally, and he'll oblige by that, and he's going to get the backup.
Yeah, not down too much CS. That's what's important there for Pally. As a bit of a steal away on both sides. Both junglers, I mean, they're like, it's like a mirror. Straight down mid lane. Just matching. Oh, here we go. The roam up that I was talking about goes completely awry. Not a single ability lands in that short exchange there. Cryptics, I think, just got revealed on mid lane, so now they're going to know. He's heading down bot side. And looks like Michaud is gunning for a full clear. And this might actually be, I mean, the only jungle advantage so far on the map. There isn't much, but it's just going to be this clear efficiency.
Oh, this is definitely suitable for the Makai. Cryptics doesn't mind this gameplay at all right now. If you're only lost in this game so far as losing a dragon that early, then you concede that point. It is an Udyr you're up against, but on the other side of that, you can see the blasting one going to get purchased from both of the junglers there. Bizing taking a little bit of damage from Taylor Swift. We'll get the Defiance back, and Sornads will make sure that Xayah is going to get to level 6 pretty unscathed here. Approaching that 8.5 into the game, and it looks like EDE, they're getting busy with these objectives. Now they're looking at taking that first herald of the game.
They are in position. Udyr's there first. Michaud. I mean, this is what I wanted to see from the Udyr. Securing early objectives, is power clearing. Doesn't actually have to directly face to face with Cryptics. No. That was a great line I just said. As we have Sornads here getting a bit of poke down. The prio continues from the Karma. Herald gonna sneakily be picked up. As now, we could see Michaud give them a bit of a gold lead, a serious one, through the use of this Rift Herald.
Oh, when was the last time you got 9 minutes into a game and the only summoner that is down for anybody here is Smite and Teleport? That's respectable.
Yeah, I guess so.
No flashes yet. I mean, they were probably itching. If you get any trouble, that, of course, is going to be your next step in that case. But Slatty taking another bit of damage from Sornads, padding the stats on the Karma. Karma, again, one of these champions that even though level 6 comes around since level 1, that mantra enhancing your ability on that Soul Flare. So you'll be able to get more damage if that spell shield does not come out from Slatty. And that's something that they need to keep an eye on this whole game, is the spell shield usage, because that Sivir, you don't want to get caught out. They're looking to make a play here. Focus Resolve actually going to go out in the bar. They're going to flash forward on Sornads. They force Bizing into the alcove. Doesn't matter, Feathers go out. Blade Caller gets the first blood on a Taylor Swift. Blur just a little bit too late to the party.
And they do pull it off there. Level 6 difference. They were able to just zone off to get the EXP advantage. Get the first kill. And now,
well, Blur's coming back.
Oh, wait a minute. The wraparound, yeah. Dogman doesn't know.
Oh, Scarlet Weak lands, Twisted Advance, that's a flash, Makai Smash. No, still no Makai Smash, but Blur gets that kill on his Sornads.
All right, Sornads does get picked up. Stepped up a little too far without the knowledge of Blur, and is able to fire back. Look at this, Cinder picks up the kill as well. But the discrepancy here is that AD carry, as we have Taylor Swift on the Mythic first. Dogman just trying to get away here. Don't give the Syndra any more stacks. Don't want to be doing that. 30 seconds away. EDE, they don't have good position for this dragon. They could fight for it, though, if they really wanted to.
Well, Taylor Swift, 10 minutes. Just after 10 minutes, I believe 10:30 on the clock for the Gale Force. Same was with the Aphelios as well. So that's a trend that's continuing. That CS discrepancy, like you already made reference to, 25 in favor of the Xayah. Sivir looking to soak up that damage, I guess, in the bot side. We'll be able to even that out eventually. This is Sivir. She's going to be hard power farming for the first 20-25 minutes of the game, unless she's accelerated otherwise. But this looks like another dragon that's going to go over uncontested to EDE. They're just getting them off the cooldown here. And you see why here, Crims. They have prio everywhere south side of the river.
Yeah, that is complete Karma control there. And you don't have to fight to get this control. That's just the beauty of this champion in Karma. Slidey getting hit again. Just getting pieced up. As we have Dogman roaming down. Has the first Leandries in the game. Completing that mythic in the mid lane before Blur despite the kill. And now, are they gonna gun for this Rift Herald? They are gonna give it over. I imagine they're trying to get Taylor Swift ahead. I think that just makes sense. Oh, 2 turret shots though. A bit of a mistake.
Ali interrupts Andre.
He wants it.
As he's pushing that wave back in. Dogman gets down here as well. We make sure that Shelly will get that charge off. She did. More gold in the pocket of Taylor Swift as we take a look at that gap in that bot side. It's about 900 in favor of the Xayah there. So Taylor Swift farming like a champion. Champion itself, 1 kill to the good as well. Only 1 apiece in this game. But there's a 1300 gold lead for the side of EDE. And we know, Crims, that due to the past trends in this series, that gold lead doesn't mean a whole lot.
Yeah, it may give you a bit of false sense of security if you're a viewer here, because both of these teams, doesn't really matter if it's 2K, 3K, 1K, they could instantaneously lose the game off an intense team fight. So this gold lead, it matters, but I don't think it really does do anything for either of these teams here. They're just so neck and neck throughout the game.
Ah, yes, I remember the days of team fighting. I remember them so well. It's been 13.5 minutes into this game, and we're yet to really see anybody pull the trigger, take a risk in this game. Everybody just handshaking in that department to make sure that they can scale up and then be a benefactor of a mid-game fight, potentially late game. Scaling champions on both sides here. Seraphine going to enjoy this one, as well as Pally's Jax. And, I mean, the same is going to be reiterated on the side of HS here as well. The Syndra, the Sivir. That's all they want to do, Crims. They want to buy time. If they can get 3 items on the Sivir without actually going for any team fights, they're going to go with that 9 times out of 10.
Of course. Of course. Oh, wait, actually, it looks like we have a bit... Okay, I thought they were going to fight there, Lamb. Got a bit baited. But my show is trying to steal away camps.
Boo.
Boo, fight. No, don't, no brain. No brain, big fight.
Me fight, me fight. Big win if me fight. Okay, Blazing Stampede. My show doesn't want to fight. Ultimate comes out from Makai as well. I believe we call that a zoning ultimate in the business, Crims. But it doesn't look like there'll be any action on the north side of the river. All
right, Slidey be left alone on the bot side as Sivir. And that is not going to be a problem. It is one of the better zone. I mean, wave clearing champions in the bot lane. So it's going to be able to easily clear the wave, pick up CS. And now advantage in Rift Herald position to HSGC here.
Well, we'll see if they pull the trigger on it. Udyr is definitely here. This will be the second Herald of the game for EDE. They haven't stopped at all. That train of objectives keeps rolling into the station. We'll see if Makai can have a say about this one. It looks like Bizing is up here too, but they're 4 strong here. It doesn't look like it's a fight that you can take. Slatty being left alone against Taylor Swift down there, and it looks like that smite. A little bit questionable, but Masho knew for sure that's not going to be contested.
Yeah, Cryptix, I mean, he was drooling over that Rift Herald. Really wanted it. He was eyeing it up.
That's a ghost.
Wait a minute.
That's Taylor Swift. That's Blade. The collar feathers go out. Solo kill in the AD carry department.
Oh, you are looking at the Rift Herald, and then Taylor Swift says this is a kill opportunity. Picks up the solo bolo in bot lane. You don't get to see that very often. And it basically only happens at that Rift Herald timing. Does burn everything. Does get one summon of Slatty, the flash most important. But picks up the kill, denies some CS. And I think it's going to be able to reset in time for this dragon. I'm going to be honest, Lamb, not worth.
Well, I mean, styling points. We've been talking about AD carries this whole series as well. So maybe
I mean, you win the
Taylor
mind
Swift,
game. Yeah, mental
maybe
damage.
It's bragging rights, right? If this game goes wrong, then at least you got the bragging rights. I got a solo kill over you. You know, if you're that kind of player. then most definitely you can stick to your guns, even though the defeat means more than actually getting the kill. But anyway, with that 2,000 gold leads, I believe it's about 1,600 if you want the quick math on the desk. Usually we say the number and then we do the subtraction and then we give you the number. That's usually how it works. But that dragon going to be spawned right now. Cryptic's definitely interested in this one. They want to stop the dragon stacking, but how do they do that? Because it looks like, yeah, it looks like they're rotating the bot lane, so we might see a fight over this dragon here.
Hold up, Dogman. They're in a bit of a split situation. They're just gonna pile in. The flash from Dogman is burned there. And it looks like Andretti making a beeline to this dragon. TP coming in from Pally. We got a 5-on-5 team fight. 17 minutes in, Lamb.
All right, they heard the boos. Dogman heard the cries for help. He
Oh,
hits the
Dogman's
stasis
dead.
bar. Beezing, hello, style points, okay. Encore. Yeah, Beezing's going to get that one regardless. Shut down over to the Bard. That's going to be the Dragon. Already down to less than half. Pally in the pit, stuck with Cryptics right there. Boomerang Blade goes out. Slatty, Ricochet's happening here, but the Sivir doesn't have a lot of damage this early on in the game. Pally will abide by that, take down the support. Slatty still throwing them out, but Taylor Swift untouched. Feathers going everywhere, but there's no chicken to be plucked. The only thing they're plucking is they're plucking EDE's chances of winning this game. Is HSGC going to a cooldown? They win that fight 3-for-1.
Now, this might be the cleanest game of the series, and that's an interesting way to end it as well. EDE, they're up huge. They have the 4K gold lead. They have 3 dragons stacked up here. Not to mention, I mean, they've really been slamming these team fights in this game. Complete victories in all of them. Pally is able to get in the back line. They burst out Cryptics yet again. Or not Cryptics, they burst out Slatty yet again. And Beezing, not nearly as tanky as, you know, a frontliner should be. And once they get in that pit, Havoc breaks out. Michaud is able to just get that smite on the dragon, so they pick it up, and then they win the fight from there. Cryptics had to just leave. And despite the fact that they get Dogman early, it just resulted, it doesn't even result in a win. It just lost them time in ultimates.
Well, that's a 2,200 gold lead now for the AD carry of EDE. Taylor Swift just saying, get on my back. We've seen this before, Crims. We know what the results are, but it's up to HSGC. They stopped it once before. Can they stop it again? They didn't stop the dragon stacking because Soul Point belongs to EDE in this game as they extend that gold lead just less than 5,000.
Well, Lamb, if you remember how they bring it back, it's the basically same old trick. Kill Taylor Swift. You know, I might be put on an FBI list for because I keep saying it. However,
Flip that. Flip
However, Xayah is not an AD carry that you can just easily get the assassinate on with the Featherstorm. And not to mention, Taylor Swift is way ahead, so you can just win the front to back. I mean, look at this, basically an item up. So yeah, you can just win any team fight front to back, and you can't dive Taylor Swift. What are you gonna do? That is such a dilemma that HSGC, they're gonna have to solve.
Well, right now, Taylor Swift running amok in that mid lane. Jax has been pushed down to the bottom. Duties have extended. We'll go up against the Sivir. Now Slatty's sole job is to try and get back into this game. 3 levels down on the top laner. We'll see Cryptics gets that smite off. Gonna get the blue buff, but my show
Slatty's not here.
in there with the Wingborn Storm. Dogman, they're shadowing
They're gonna
each
go for
other
it
perfectly. They're gonna start this up, and it's understandable. We see why they're so far ahead, and they obviously think we dare you, HSGC, to stop us.
Slatty's not here. They could easily win a team fight. There is no AD carry.
Oh,
man.
Encore comes across, hits the Bard. Michaud, well obliged by that, goes on in. Nature's Gas going to come out, but there's no damage. Michaud walks away. Taylor Swift leading the charge.
Wait,
Now
Pally
Grey Health
on the
going to
flank.
be procced by Andretti. Here comes Pally. He's finished with this one. He gets the leap strike in, gets a flash away blur. Feathers go out. Taylor Swift running down the Syndra right now, and we'll see both of the carries are getting the kills on the board. Double kill for Pally. Gets the flank, gets the summoners. That's the mastery from Tete. She's not going to be the anti-hero. She's going to be the hero in this one.
EDE, when the game matters, they just turn it on. This game, they're just cleaning house. For some reason, whatever HSGC did, they really activated EDE here, and Taylor Swift on this Zaya is so safe, so fed, so strong, so ahead of Slatty. Just completely controlling the team fights. And it just seems like there's just no shot for HSGC to win. And Pally, again, on this Jax. Why was it never banned? Why do they keep trying to counter it? I don't understand, Lamb.
It just gives me a big blank space.
Oh boy. Okay, I got that one.
Work that one out. All right.
We were gonna sneak that one
He's
past
good,
me.
Sims. He's good. I do want to show the eagle eyes of my color caster. That Pally flank even fooled me. I didn't know where the hell he was coming from, but you better believe Crims did. And I can say for certain that HSGC were in the same boat as me. They got surprised and they blew all summoners. And of course that extends 5 kills now.
They pinged the ward in mid lane. Pally has TP.
Really good.
He's TPing towards another flank again.
Oh, he's going to try it here. It'll be a little bit late, but still, that's going to be agreed. Macho on the front line lives forever, just looking to be the stunt bot for the team. Counter-Strike in, it's the Pally show. And we got front row tickets. This Jax is making it happen right over Summoner's Rift. Is he not done yet? B-Zing might get away from him here.
All right, now the whole world is open to EDE. They're going to pick up this dragon. It's a soul in 23 minutes. Oh, they're just giving over more kills to Pally on this Jax. Of course, Taylor Swift picking up more kills. What do you expect? They're not even doing Baron just yet. Okay, they're getting turrets first. Now they're going to pick up this Baron. 3-13, EDE. I mean, it looks like they were sleeping in game 1 and 2, and now they're just wide awake in game 3, Lamb.
The beast has awoken. 10,000 gold lead, Baron on the plate. They can't get their plates stacked up enough. They're going to take the Dragon Soul in this one as well. Sivir will get some gold back into the pocket, but it's only a slight margin of gold. It's basically setting out on Summoner's Rift and hoping someone throws you a bone, because right now they're going to need a miracle to get back into this one. EDE with a heavy gold lead, heavy objective lead, and they've completely just swung the pendulum here, Crims. They're not going to let go of this one.
This one, I mean, this pendulum has a lot of momentum, Lamb. It's not an easy one to stop, and it looks like they're just going to completely blow through HotSpot Gaming Crimson in this one. I mean, outside of some really crazy mistakes from the side of EDE, they win this game. The mental damage has come through. Taylor Swift unstoppable. Pally is just a monster in these backlines. The flanks, time and time again, the TP flank, the flank from that last fight from bot lane, completely can manhandle the Tom Kench. Tom Kench doesn't even have a mythic. Cryptix doesn't even have a mythic. They're just so behind. 10k gold lead. EDE, they know how to close out a game, and I think it's happening soon.
Well, they will with Macho on the front line here. Turret under siege, heavy siege, big damage. Taylor Swift, one more. Temper Fate goes out. Gets the Feather Storm out of the Zaya, so that's going to be on a cooldown for this fight, but both summoners not available actually. Flash about to come up for TT in this one, and it should be delayed enough that she will get that. They left the Jax alone in that top lane to get the push. He's got enough damage in the inventory now. 3 items, Crims, over Tam Kench's 1.
Yeah, that is a huge difference in the
God.
Wits End. Oh, Bazing, what are you doing?
Bazinga, that's what he's doing. Oh, Andretti's going to be the next folk. That magical journey was a one-way ticket. And it's a one-way ticket to the EDE show. And my God, we got front row right now. This theater is packed and waiting. It's just a matter of time. Slatty finished farming down there. Oh, Tay just relentless. Takes down Blur in a flash, and now they're sieging on that inhibitor turret. Teleport being committed here. That's going to be Dogman. He's just going to be the sole passenger. Joins a little bit late, but they still got 30 seconds on the Syndra. 14 on the Tam Kench. They're on the Nexus turret number 1. Taylor Swift doesn't even need the team. Slatty hits on the hunt. Throwing the ricochets. Gets stunned up. Pally. Master at arms. Master at Jax. Pally absorbing so much in this series. He'll fend off Cryptix. That's going to be Tate walking the Mark guy down. No Makai Smash. Very unfortunate. We're not going to get to say that one. But they're called emotional damage for a reason. They close out the series 2-1.
Amazing performance from Emotional Damage Energy, Lamb. I mean, did you ever doubt them? Did you
Yes.
ever doubt? Okay.
I doubt everybody. You have to prove yourself to me. No, I didn't. Once
No,
they
of
got
course
that
not.
lead, you could see that Taylor Swift has been amping it up this whole series. And now explodes onto the scene. The Taylor Swift we remember right at the start of the season, Crims, that we tipped as one of the most consistent and reliable AD carries. I can't sing the songs of praise enough for this guy.
And despite the fact that they triple banned the Taylor Swift, yes, Lulu is a Taylor Swift band, Lamb. That is indeed a fact. Lulu is a Taylor Swift band.
What?
So they triple banned Taylor Swift. And despite all that effort, picks up the Zaya, makes this game look easy. 16-0 KDA.
Oh.
Just had an insurmountable gold lead, 4K up against Slatty. And then Slatty, look, Slatty at the end of the day was pally fodder. This Jack's just completely beaten up the Sivir on International Women's Day of all days.
Oh
Lamb.
God, we're cancelled. Finish it here. No. Oh my God. I mean, it was a
Yeah.
spectacle. I mean, this is probably it's got to be up there with one of the most entertaining games series this season that Titan has to offer, and only gets better from here. Remember, guys, playoffs right around the corner. We got 1 or 2 weeks. I think it's one more week.
Mhm.
And then we will be cementing the places going forward. It's going to be extremely exciting. Let's see those damage charts. I know it's a little bit scuffed right now, but Fort is definitely on point with it. We can say that much. But I want to take your attention away from the winning team for just a second here, Crims. HSGC, they were controversial in the way that they played the game. In the first game, they turned it around. In the second game, they had the lead. They let it slip. And in this game, it just looked like that draft did not pay off for them. But man, they were so entertaining to watch, especially Blur, Slatty. I mean, even Bazing. I think Bazing just had enough at the end there. That magical journey into the grinder. Yeah, the meat grinder there. But
Yeah.
it was, give me your thoughts on this team and how much of a good performance they put out tonight.
I think that Emotional Damage Energy just have such a good setup. I mean, look, they just let Pally...
No, not the other team, Crims.
All right, you caught me. HotSpot Gaming, though, they had a really good idea with their Wukong, Yone, dive Taylor Swift, get this man out of there. They did it again, similarly on Vi. They started to lose control again, and then unfortunately, Cryptics, he just kept diving a little bit too deep. His team's not able to follow up. You can't kill the Philios on your lonesome. You need the backup Vi's really there just to hold people down while your team beats them up. And so they didn't really have that follow-up combo from game number 1. And I bet you, Lamb, that would have made a hell of a difference because there was not significant peel. The Maokai was there, but that was it. And so they had options to taking out Taylor Swift, which is the key to beating Emotional Damage. Is there any doubt that you have to remove Taylor Swift from the equation to beat this team? There is no other answer. Dogman, you can let him scale. You have to defeat Taylor Swift in that time. And that is the way you beat them. And so far, EDE has proven that that is no easy task.
I want to say, I think there was a knock at your door. FBI open up, beating Taylor Swift, kill Taylor Swift, all these. He's only joking. He's only talking about theoretically on Summoner's Rift. Look, I got you covered, Crims. That small print, we got it, man. We got it. We're not going to... No court, please. Look, phenomenal victory. Series well-deserved. Accompanied onto EDE, and I believe in the standings now they moved to 5-1, and they are a 5-1 team. They are just that much better right now. And I mean, if you look at the rest of the standings, they're right up there. So we tipped them at the beginning of the season. How's the bookies' favorite right now? I think we're sitting pretty good.
Yeah, I think we look, we didn't expect them to drop game one. That's just, I mean, look, you don't often expect EDE to drop a game. They did lose to, I mean, they did lose a game, and it's just so difficult to imagine a team taking them down. But it can happen. You have to play the right style. I mean,
Yep.
DZG 2-0, EDE. And not to mention Dorado Gaming from the other side did put them a game down as well. So there are ways to win against emotional damage, but you have to understand how they operate in order to beat them. You can't just let them get off their style. It is not going to work.
Well, as one of the spectators says, gods can bleed. Of course they can. You can beat anybody, fella. Let me tell you, especially when we're on the desk, we'll fill you with as much hype and copium as you need to make it through. Now, remember, guys, I know there's been a few instances about interviews. They are done post game. So we won't see anybody on the desk today. We take a look at the damage charts just once again, just to kind of finish this off here, Crims. Is it any surprise that Taylor Swift 18,000 damage in this game, 8k more than the Syndra. I mean, do the math, 11,000 more than what Slatty. Slatty didn't even get to the point where the Sivir could really be a champion. And I mean, across the board, we seen Tam Kench finish the game with, I mean, in RuneScape terms, I mean, that's trimmed
Okay.
armor.
You lost me. You lost me when you
Oh,
started talking about RuneScape, but I'll just trust that you got
okay.
this
It's
analogy
trimmed
solid.
armor, trimming armor
Okay.
for free. Just give me your armor.
Yeah. Lem, I kind of want to curtail this conversation to next week because do you know what's going to happen?
What's happening next week? You need to tell me. What's
It's going to
happening?
be emotional damage versus Elysium Blaze. For what? The top spot. It's in contention here, Lamb. Whoever wins that one, I think, is going to have the first seed in this group, of course. And then if Dorado Gaming doesn't drop their next game, well, obviously, that they're also going to finish in their top spot. So these are contender matches. And I think people should be hanging around. We are going to have Dorado on stream versus Rubber Ducky Gaming. So these are top of the pack games. These are most likely the playoffs matches happening. This is just a preview.
Well, preview or not, it looks like our time is up here. Otherwise, I need to put more money into this internet cafe. So, look, that was a phenomenal victory, phenomenal series, very entertaining. We can't wait to see what the last week has in store for Titan Esports. Remember, guys, again, there's a clipping competition. Your clip gets the most views. Guess what? You get something. I don't know what it is. Could be anything. I mean, you want to be a multi-millionaire? Maybe you need to hit up Sam's. I know he's got the goods. But we have to put a close on the night. We've hung around for a little bit too long at the end of this, but it doesn't matter. It deserved all the attention it got. Thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. Very appreciative of everybody tuning in and supporting both of these teams, regardless if you're neutral or one side or the other. Shout out to Lucan. We hope that everything resolves
Yeah.
itself, dude. We're thinking about you over in Titan Esports. And certainly is a close friend of mine and Crims. So hopefully everything works out for you, man. We got our fingers crossed. And again, guys, if you see him knocking around, give him some encouraging words because the guy, he needs a little bit of a pickup right now. We all go through tough times. So I want to give a shout out to Furman as well, sticking with us and stepping in for the production tonight instead of looking phenomenal, classy as always. Certainly enjoyed it. But from me, Lamb, from Crims over there, and from our production team and everybody at Titan Esports, we bid you a good night. God bless. And we'll see you the next time Titan Esports rolls around.